Hello, welcome back to another episode of Podcast. We have been gone for 8 weeks, 3 years, 5 decades. How you doing? How things?
Good. Biggest thing is I've been upgrading my computer. I think I've been talking to you about that.
Mm-hmm.
I found a decent deal on a graphics card, so I think I'm gonna pick it up, depending on,
Oh, so you don't need me anymore?
Yeah, I was gonna talk to you about it.
I served my purpose? Is that what you're telling me?
So I don't want to be rude. I don't know how old the card is. It's probably still a good card.
It's relatively old.
What's the number? You know,
It's a 1660 Super.
but it's GTX, right?
No.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
GTX?
well,
It's probably GTX.
I think it is GTX, but it is a couple years old because I've had that thing since the last time I upgraded my computer.
Yeah.
Go.
So people are online when I was looking at it. People were comparing the GTX 1660 base to the RTX 3060, or sorry, 3050. And I'm picking up a 3050.
Okay.
The 3050 currently is at 215, which is its lowest, I believe, ever. Brand new. And with the current money I have right now, I can pick that up, and I can pick up a motherboard.
Okay.
So I was like, I'll do that, and then around Christmas, I think, or November-ish, hopefully I'll find Ryzen CPUs on a good sale, because the one I want right now is about $99.
So what kind of motherboard are you getting? Are you getting a
AMD.
No, an AMD, but are you getting like this current generation of motherboard, or are you getting a previous generation?
Oh.
Because it all depends on what kind of processor you want. Like the newer stuff now is like,
So it's an AM4 chip, so it'll be able to work with all those processors.
so it's AM4, so it's not AM5. All right, that's all.
Okay, I didn't. Is AM5 out?
I believe it is. Hold
I
on.
had no fucking idea.
Yeah, because like that's why. Hold on. Oh.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, they're significantly more expensive though. So.
Yeah, because that's what came out like last year, I believe. Like,
Yeah.
that was the thing.
Sorry. Go ahead.
No, I just want to mention, like, that was my whole thing with, like, hunting for computer parts, was that I was debating whether or not to get newer stuff or older stuff. But all the older stuff was obviously a lot cheaper and still pretty good in its, like, area of, like, things I needed to do. So I was like, fuck it, I'll just get the older stuff. And, yeah, it's been, like, a year I've had this, I think. My new computer.
I thought it was 2 years, but I don't know how time works, so.
And yeah, it's good. It's a good computer.
Yeah, your graphics card is the one that my brother has, and my brother got a super duper laptop. And I saw him play Diablo 4 on it at ultra settings, and oh my god, was I like jizzing my pants. I was like, it looks like, if I told him, I was like, if it looked that good on my PS5, I would play this all the time, even though it's a bad game, because it looks so fucking pretty.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure the 3050 will give me enough like fidelity, like increased fidelity, that I'll actually enjoy what I'm doing. Especially a lot more on like League, Valorant, less demanding things, and then things like Diablo, Resurrected. I'll be happy to play Diablo 2 Resurrected on that.
I'm about to say, because like the 3050 is like a pretty decent budget card. Yeah. So I don't really know the specs for it, like compared to what I have, but obviously what I have is a lot more.
Yes.
But you know, I don't think I've heard bad things of the 3050 or the 3060, or at least the 3070.
The biggest thing that people complain about is the price point.
Yeah, that's true. Nvidia has a big problem with that shit.
Yeah, when it came out, I think it was like it was supposed to come out 250, and it came out 300.
Yeah, that's what it was.
They were like, you can literally go buy a
20
3060.
Yeah, Oh yeah,
And
30.
they were like, why would you buy the 3050? You could buy the 3060. What the fuck is the point? And then it became 250, and then people were like, well, now it's kind of a budget card, but it's kind of too late. Like, you might as well still buy these. And that's the thing that I noticed when I was looking at any PC part is you'll look at it, and then you go up a number, and it's only $20 more, and it's like, okay, but then there's another one that's only $20 more, but then there's another one that's only 20. You know what I'm saying? And it's like,
and for me personally, it's just like, okay, why is it that price? Like, what is the caveat that I'm gonna have to have if I do decide to go with this card? That's my perspective on it. It's just like, the cheaper the price, the more interested I become of like, what is the caveat? But I don't know. Continue.
yeah. No, that's fair. So I mean, I was doing that with a lot of stuff, like motherboards. You know, you can increase $30 on it and get a better, like, you know, this or that. But when it comes down to it, I just want a mid-budget gaming PC. I don't, yeah, I don't want a high end right now. I mean, I cannot afford a very high end PC right now, so I'm not worried about it. But I'm very excited to get back into PC gaming. For the longest time, I think I've complained to you about how long it takes for my PC to load up. And you've noticed that when I try to get in here with you and talk to you and stuff, or play a game or something.
I was about to say, does your OS run on a HDD or SD?
Yep.
Oh,
it was on HDD. My brother had come through and he was like,
you need to switch that.
He was like, do you have an SSD? And I was like, or an SSD? And I was like, no. And he was like, you want to go pick one up? And I was like, sure. So we ran to the store. He picked me up an SSD. We came home, plugged it in, and my computer booted up 20 times faster.
Yeah, like that is like the key, because when I first had my computer, I had my OS on HDD, because obviously at the time I knew nothing about like PC gaming.
Yeah.
And like over the course of the years I've had it, I was just like, oh man, it boots up so slow. And then, you know, doing more research, and then having a friend that actually knew what he was doing tell me like, yeah, you need to upgrade your hard drive, bro. Like, don't settle for HDD. Either get like an SD or a fucking NVMe like card, because it's much better. And I was like, all right. So yeah, I haven't done that in years. I have HDDs in my computer, but the only things I use it for is just for like, well, they're cheap. That's also the other thing. But I use it mostly just to like keep the VODs that I have. So I have one that's like 8 terabytes that keeps the VODs for the streams.
Man,
so,
that's such a good idea.
That's what I did. Because I was like,
I'm gonna keep my hard drive then, because I still have that. It sucks too. It's a big ass fat 1 terabyte hard drive.
Yeah, keep it.
It's so big.
Keep it, but use it for like additional stuff that you want to like store.
Yeah, pornography.
Yeah, exactly. 1 terabyte full of pornography.
All right. Anyways,
no.
Yeah. So I upgraded that. It's an AM3 motherboard, so it's very old. It only uses DDR3 RAM, which again, me and my brother upgraded while he was here, and now I'm up to 24 gigs of RAM, which is again crazy, because now I can keep 1,000 tabs open on Google, which is crazy, dude.
Man, yeah.
Again, like, it's really like insignificant things that most people don't really care about. But like, I was just like swinging tabs everywhere. And I will say, League and other games run faster a little bit. But the real things that I need are the CPU upgrade and the GPU upgrade, and then I'll be like really good. But the problem is I can get the GPU and it'll run with this motherboard, but I need a CPU, RAM, and a motherboard to get the motherboard going.
I was going to say you would have to upgrade your RAM kit if you're planning on getting a new motherboard. Yeah, but it's all due time. Like I said, once Cyber Monday hits, or just keep an eye out, because I think Amazon Prime's having their like Prime Day sale.
Yep. I haven't bought anything yet because it's 2 days away from their Prime days, and Newegg is doing a deal tomorrow. Yeah,
so there's that. So just keep an eye out. Newegg, I I think my motherboard and the RAM kit from. Yeah, I did. Newegg so far has been pretty okay with me. But I've heard a lot of like other things about Newegg, but this was like before their whole transparency thing, because who was it? I think it was Gamer Nexus. They're this like YouTube channel that does like PC specs and all this. They had like a whole thing of like basically calling out like big manufacturers. So the biggest one was obviously Newegg, and they basically called out Newegg about like all this shit that was happening like to them behind the scenes. And they were basically like, if we didn't have such a big audience, like imagine it for people that don't have any audience and trying to get out to Newegg's customer service and trying to work out like something to help them to return a product, and them never reaching out to them, because that's happened apparently at Newegg.
Yeah.
But you know, I don't know how it is now. I'm probably thinking of getting another RAM kit, but that's just me. Get 64.
Newegg when I was younger, like more of a kid. When I built my first PC was like god tier. I got everything so cheap. I built the shittiest, because I'm dumb, first computer. But I think it cost me $400. And it was only because AMD made an APU that was APU's the motherboard. Fuck me. APU is the CPU mixed with the GPU.
Yes.
And holy shit, I don't know about like today if any of that is good at all, but back then I bought it and it was like the most minimal upgrade ever.
Yeah, usually APUs are not particularly that good. I think a lot of like processing companies have kind of strayed away from that.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess like when I was reading it when I was younger, I was like, oh, like
graphics card.
I don't have to buy a graphics card. I was like, this is fucking. I think that's how I saved the extra like $200. You know.
Yeah. Okay.
It did. Yeah, I have to say, it did run Diablo 2 well, which like it's an old ass game. And back in the day, it ran Star Conflict, World of Warcraft. It ran some good ass games. Not perfectly for sure, but
pretty well.
I was able to play them.
Okay. Yeah, man. The fun of building a new computer is always something worthwhile. I enjoy it. I enjoyed the process of putting all the new shit in.
Dude, it's fun. I like it a lot.
Yeah, it is. And then on top of that, getting a new case. Yeah. But I realized that the case might have been a little bit of overkill because of how big it is. Like I've struggled trying to like get this like thing fitting in my like workspace. Luckily I have it now fitted in my workspace, but like it's just like, oh my god, I thought to myself, like, I'm so stupid to buy a giant ass case, but I like my case, so
yeah. I mean, bigger case. Do you have like a ATX motherboard, like small one?
Yes, I have an ATX.
And you got a big case, yeah?
Yeah. Not like a mini ATX, but like I have a ATX. It's like just standard size.
Okay, I gotcha. Because I was gonna say like
not ATX,
bigger case, better
ITX.
airflow.
Yeah. Yeah. That's pretty much the whole reason. And then I got like the AIO cooler, but it's like 3 fans and it's like I think 200 something millimeters.
Oh.
Like they're big fans, obviously. But the graphics card was the big thing that I was like, I need space for this, and down the line if I do decide to get like a 40 something, I have enough space because those fucking cards are huge for no reason. So yeah. It do be like that. But I like my stuff. I would recommend also getting like extension cables if you I guess it depends on your PSU, depending how far it reaches.
Everything fits fine now, so it'll be fine.
Yeah, okay. Never mind that. Don't listen to Chonch. Chonch has made bad financial decisions.
The only thing I read that I need is a fan splitter, because it only supports 1 fan. Or 2 fans, technically. It supports the CPU fan and 1 extra fan.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, it's a budget motherboard. So like
Mm-hmm.
they find little things to save money on, and the person that was like reviewing it was like, just buy this connector. You can put 8 fans in there.
Yeah, that's how it usually is there's always a workaround for most of that stuff.
Plus, I'm gonna have enough. I think everything's gonna run around 380 power supply, so 500 watts should be fine. Plus, a couple fans extra won't hurt it.
Yeah, that shouldn't be too bad.
Yeah.
I got 1,000-watt power supply.
Dude, you know, when
That
I
would
go
overkill.
when I go to upgrade and make like a real thing, like way better later on.
A real thing.
Like when I go to make
Yeah.
like an actual gaming computer at some point.
Yeah.
I was looking at exactly what you're talking about. I think I'm for sure gonna just like pick up a 1,000-watt supply, so I'll never be worried about it in the future.
Yeah.
Because there's almost never gonna need.
Yeah. I kind of like future-proofed myself a little bit, but
no, it's good though, because like for real, as long as you're cleaning everything out, you're never gonna have a problem.
Yeah. Yeah. God, computer shit is so. I'm just remembering like how kind of stressful it was, like getting computer stuff, but like at the end result, it like I just enjoy it. I love that it comes together. But even then, like looking for like a new monitor was like the hardest thing in the world for me, because I had to do my research on like different monitor types.
Oh yeah,
that is a whole fucking rabbit hole to go into. But it's I just ended up going with like one good I think it's a VA or IPS. I don't remember. I think it's a VA panel. But I like my current new monitor.
I don't remember how long ago, but actually maybe a year and a half ago, I ended up getting the Legion, which is just like ThinkPad, whatever the names are. Their type of monitor. And it's not 4K, it's 2K, but I mean, I don't think I'm ever gonna really use 4K in my
I don't
shit.
My computer is weird because like the display port defaults to I think it's 2K. But my graphics card is able to do 4K. So like it's weird because I have my TV connected to my my computer. So like it does the output for 4K.
Gotcha.
But sometimes it's just not 4K. It's very weird. Oh yeah, and like connecting my PS5, this thing is able to do 4K. So that's also the weird thing, is just like DisplayPort able to do 4K, but for some reason DisplayPort HDMI 4K, DisplayPort 2K.
Dude, I swear. Oh my god, I'm sorry. I swear Xbox and PlayStation saying they can do 4K is such a fucking like very
them fucking saying they can do 8K is like the craziest shit.
I've tried for my shit to look better on my monitors with the PS5, and it never comes out looking like it should.
Yeah, because I think PS5 has like a resolution scaling, but like sometimes that can be really iffy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So computers.
Yep. So just excited about everything. Sure, I'll like tell you everything when it comes in or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Other than that,
excuse me.
Hope you're ready.
I think I'm ready.
I have rewatched essentially every Marvel movie.
All right.
I went from Iron Man.
No.
I fully watched.
You should have. Wait. I forget. Is Iron Man before Edward Norton Hulk, or after?
Before.
Okay. All right. Never mind. You're good.
You're good. I fully watched Iron Man. I could not stomach Edward Norton's Hulk.
It's not good.
I made it halfway through, and I was like, they actually were going to use this guy in
the rest of the series, yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, no, that's dumb. I fully watched Iron Man 2, Thor, Captain America, Avengers, Iron Man 3, next Thor, the next Captain America, Guardians of the Galaxy, Avengers, Ant-Man, Civil War, Strange, Guardians of the Galaxy 2, Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3, the next Thor, Black Panthers, Avenger, Ant-Man and Wasp, Captain Marvel, and the last Avengers.
Okay. Got it.
I know it's a lot, but I was like, for some reason, what's it called? The Guardians of the Galaxy 3 was out, and I watched it.
Mm.
And I don't know why, something in me was just like, holy shit, like, let's go look at everything
What?
and remember, like, what happened. And then Loki 2, I remember season 2 is coming out. It is out now.
It is out.
The first episode.
Mm-hmm.
So I rewatched the entirety of Loki as well. I rewatched Daredevil. I rewatched The Punisher.
Damn, we've been gone for that long?
Yep.
Holy shit.
I'm sorry. It's a bunch of stuff. I think that's it for. Oh no, I watched fuck is that movie that just came out?
The Marvel one?
No. Oh, Haunted Mansion on Disney.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, with Keith Stanfield, I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
I really love. I don't really like Tiffany Haddish.
Okay.
I think her comedy's good. But like, there's a lot of times like where she's in a movie and it feels just like it's her. And I'm like, you don't feel like you're playing a character.
She kind of has. I think that happens with a lot of comedians going into acting roles. They essentially just play themselves.
Yes.
Because like Kevin Hart feels like that all the time. I mean, The Rock is not a comedian, but like The Rock is just
Rock. You're right. It's like almost anybody that's done work outside of actual acting.
Yeah.
That they kind of just feel like they're themselves. But I have to say, her in this, she was really fucking good.
Okay. That's good to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I didn't hear anything about the new haunted house. Haunted Mansion? What is it?
Haunted Mansion.
Okay.
You're like, ooga booga. I never heard anything.
I remember the Eddie Murphy movie. I remember that.
I never watched it.
But I don't. That's the thing. I retained nothing from it because it just like was there. Yeah, I don't remember a single thing about that movie.
It's good. I recommend, even if you don't go and watch the old one first, just watch this one.
Okay.
I watched Elemental, which I never wanted to because it looks dumb, and I was right. It is dumb.
Yeah. Okay. I remember what Elemental is. Okay.
Yeah. What a bad movie. It's like like it made me feel like somebody took a Blender class or whatever that equivalent would be currently and made like a high school student was like, I'm gonna make something that I think like would get me an A.
So you
and
think
then got his friend in English class to write the story.
So you think you could do better is what you're saying?
Yeah, for sure. So maybe not like the 3D art, like for sure that's like fine, but
the story itself was
the story is just fucking boring, bland, regular. I could do 10 of these for you in 10 days.
It wasn't peak like Zootopia.
No, it didn't have enough furries.
Yeah, that's right.
So like, do you know anything about this, or do you care if I say anything?
I remember seeing trailers for it. I saw it and I was like, okay, and pick a new Pixar movie, and then like I didn't hear anything afterwards about it. Like that's how nuts it was. And then I remember just looking on Twitter when people were like, remember this movie came out? And I was like, wait, it came out already? Yeah, I just know that like the stories about like this water elemental and this fire elemental, and like, ooh, they're two different people or two different things.
There is nothing more to it. It is literally that. And it's like the hardships of like what everyone's gonna make you go through. And it's fine. Like that's a story told over and over and over again.
Yeah.
But it just didn't feel like they took it to another level to like make it feel new or better or different or more grand or anything like that.
Yeah, it wasn't thought provoking.
Yeah, it's literally, and it's for kids, so like to be fair, like children might like it, so it's
Yeah.
fine. But just personally, like a lot of Pixar I end up liking, and this just wasn't one of them.
Did you watch Soul by any chance?
Not yet.
Okay. I was wondering.
I did watch Ahsoka with some friends.
Oh, really?
That's rough until cool things happen. So.
Obviously, yeah. Did you watch any of like the cartoon Star Wars
Nope.
stuff?
That
Okay.
my friend was like, "Yo, have you seen the cartoon one?" I'm like, "No, I also don't want to."
Well, the Gendy Tartakovsky, I think is God, I forget his name. The creator of Samurai Jack and Primal, he worked on like the original 2D Star Wars stuff, and besides the animation, people really praised the story. But I think it wasn't until like a little bit afterwards when they started transitioning to 3D. So yeah, that kind of gets.
3D.
But that's what's the other thing is that like the 3D cartoon stuff still helps with like the overarching story of like Ahsoka, but I never got into it. I remember my uncle who is a big Star Wars fan. He mentioned to me, he's like those cartoons are actually legitimately pretty good. Like I watched a couple of them. So I was like, oh, all right, but then I never watched any of it.
I saw a few episodes
Wait,
with my friend
before I finish, and then after me not watching anything, my hope of Star Wars started to die out. Okay, sorry. Continue.
No, you're good. I watched a few episodes with my friend very long ago when they were really into it. The two of them, they're married. They're like the biggest Disney fans. Go every year to Disney World.
Oh no, they're Disney heads.
Yeah, they love it, man. And like, it's so funny because like the mouse owns Star Wars, and like it just is a big part of them. And I like hearing them talk about it because they're super nerd on it, and I'm just like, it's the one thing that I'm like, oh, I don't understand this.
Yeah, I kind of don't want to be that guy as well, especially when people are like really excited over something. Because I tend to get excited over stupid shit as well.
No, yeah. It's interesting though to hear. Like, it's like hearing you talk about JoJo. I don't particularly like JoJo, but like you have such like a passion for it sometimes, where it's like interesting to hear about it.
I literally had a moment like that, with my cousin and her fiance, where we were like trying to decide on like what to watch. So I brought over like a bunch of tokusatsu stuff that I bought like recently, like Ultraman, Kamen Rider, and basically I gave them like a whole history rundown of all this stuff, and then her fiance was like, he's like, I really like the fact that you're really passionate about this. He's like, I'm actually kind of excited to watch. So I was like, all right, cool. But then we only watched like one episode of Kamen Rider, and he fell asleep, and my cousin was like, yeah, we'll watch it some other time, and then we just never watched anything afterwards.
They were like, absolutely not.
No, thank you.
Oh my god. I did we talk last time about me rewatching? Yeah, we talked
Breaking
about
Bad?
me rewatching Breaking Bad, and we talked about Stranger Things.
Yeah, we did.
Okay. I was like, did I forget that I fucking rewatched all that shit too?
Bro, we've been gone for so long that I'm forgetting like what we talked about last time that I talked about, and I'm just like, I don't remember anything, so I might repeat myself at a point.
No, for sure, no worries.
All right, cool.
Trying to see because I have some shit here. The new season of The Righteous Gemstones on HBO.
Oh, is that with Danny McBride?
Yes.
Okay.
Danny McBride, and I can't remember the other dude's name. They're all funny, the three kids, the two brothers and the sister.
Yeah, isn't like one of the other guys, or am I thinking of a different show?
Adam Devine.
Okay, I got it.
Workaholics.
Yeah.
And the sister, I don't know her name.
How is that show? Like, it's actually pretty good.
Dude, it's so fucking funny. It's dumb comedy though, so like,
okay,
depending on how you feel about that.
Yeah.
Danny McBride is all dumb.
Yeah. Because I know like people like praise just kind of going to another like show. I think kind of in that vein of like dumb comedy is like Trailer Park Boys.
Yeah. I would say Trailer Park Boys is more dumbed down.
Okay, wait, it's more dumbed down than the dumb show. Okay.
Trailer Park. It
Well,
might even be just that Trailer Park Boys feels slower. That might be it.
that's the thing. Yes, that it does feel slower. I watched like maybe a couple episodes, but I do like the commitment to the bit of the character Julian. I think that's Julian. The guy who wears black and like a chain, with like black hair. That every time he's in a scene, he's always holding like a glass filled with something. Like he's never without it. Like that's his character trait. It's so dumb. But yeah, sorry.
No, you're fine.
Because I was also interested in the show Succession. I don't know. I didn't know anything about Succession until somebody was like, "Yeah, I didn't know anything about Succession until I watched it, and I thought the show was originally a drama."
Okay, I thought that too.
Yeah, it's not. It's not a drama. It's actually a comedy. Because like all the commercials is like it looks like gritty, like corporate drama, and it's like I don't really care for it. And then I heard somebody on a podcast talk about it, and they're like, "Yeah, it's actually a legitimately good comedy." And I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "All right, I gotta take a look at that." But yeah, there's a bunch of shit that I've been like trying to watch. I think I'll talk about them obviously when my turn happens. But yes, what else did you watch?
I'm trying to look up this show. I can't remember the name of it now.
Ahsoka? Sorry.
Ahsoka these nuts.
Ahsoka.
Oh, that's what it was. Okay. You were talking about Trailer Park Boys. It's not exactly the same, but it kind of makes me think of Letterkenny, which I fucking love.
Oh, I've seen a couple of their skits.
Yeah. I don't know why that shit got me hooked, but I guess it's like the stupidness mixed with like how good the comedy is just makes me always love it.
Yeah.
Other things I ended up watching were new season of American Dad, which whatever the newest season is up.
11.
Kind of went back and watched a little bit more. This is season 17, boy.
Oh shit! Never mind then. All right.
And then I rewatched the entirety of Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, and then new Futurama, of course. I watched a little bit of Family Guy. That's about it.
Okay.
Other than that, there's been like movies here and there that I just can't remember, so they're forgettable. Who cares?
It's okay. That's why I write this shit down. But I feel like my app is failing me because every time I look at my app, it like deletes some of the stuff that I put down.
Notable shit that I'm excited for though. Goosebumps. I don't know if you saw that.
No, I didn't know that they were coming back out with Goosebumps.
Goosebumps is coming back, and the first episode is going to be starring what is his name?
Is it still keeping to like anthology kind of thing, where like each episode is different based off a book?
I believe it's going to be keeping it kind of like that, but I'm really not sure. I didn't like look too much into it. Justin Lang or something?
Justin Long?
Is it Justin Long? Yeah, Justin Long is going to be in the first episode.
Okay.
Hold on. No, it says 10 episodes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Just Justin Long?
Yes. Literally the list of the episode names are right here. I'm so excited.
Okay.
Wait, this is the 2023, right? Yep.
Okay.
Oh, dude, I'm stoked, man. So, like, you should watch the trailer when you get a chance.
Probably give it a shot.
Having him in there for those few seconds of a shot and, like, what happens, I just, like, it reminds you of how much you love that man. Because I think almost everything he's in, I just end up, like...
liking?
Just falling in love with, basically.
Yeah, I mean, I really haven't watched that many Justin Long movies, but yeah, okay.
You know, like Jeepers Creepers.
Yes, I've seen Jeepers Creepers. I've seen
Tusk.
Yes. Oh, Tusk. I haven't seen.
What's the other one? That Barbarian one, I believe.
Yeah, Barbarian is the other one where he plays a piece of shit.
Is he a piece of shit in the movie?
Yeah, he's a huge piece of shit.
He's willing to like let the person die or something, right?
Yeah, spoilers, but yeah.
Yes, they're everyone's
yeah, what was that movie with the college?
Yes, college.
I'm trying to remember the movie where like he's a college student, but he doesn't get into the college that he wants, so he buys like an insane asylum, and like
Oh, yeah,
I forget what
yeah.
that one's called.
Accepted.
Accepted. That's what it is.
He
Yeah,
was in Dodgeball.
Dodgeball. Yeah.
He was in Live Free or Die Hard.
Yes, I
Listen
remember
to
that.
that. You don't even know. You know, the man was in so many good movies.
Yep.
He
Live
was in
Free and Die
Galaxy
Hard.
Quest.
Oh well, yes, I remember, but he was only there for like a couple scenes.
All the Alvins and the Chipmunks, he was there.
Yes, he played Alvin.
I have no idea.
I think he was Alvin. Anyways, what else you got?
Anchorman, Funny People, Clerks. You know,
Yes,
he's a good actor. You wouldn't understand.
I wouldn't, because I do not act, because I'm real.
The other thing I think you're gonna think is like maybe weird that I'm excited for is Percy Jackson, the new series.
Oh my god, you're excited?
So if I wasn't excited just because I'm excited that Disney's gonna do it right, I'm really hyped because the trailer they used the song. Now I can't remember the song. They had some guy from the UK remix a song that I really like, and he just fuck you. Okay, that's your judgment.
But I'm trying to figure out what song.
Ah man, I can literally. No, my phone's not in my pocket. I can just Google.
It wasn't like David Guetta coming out and being like, shout out to George Floyd's family, and then remixes I Have a Dream.
Vance Joy's Riptide.
Okay, I don't know that. But anyways, my David Guetta thing is relevant. No, it's not.
He redid it to be like piano and like more like dark and sad, I guess. And I just really liked it. Sounds really good.
So is this thing going to be like a TV series or is it going to be a movie? Yeah. Oh, okay.
It's a series.
It's a series.
Might not be good. I think it looks fine.
Okay.
I don't know. Excited to see how it works out.
Isn't Edge in there?
Oh, what's that?
I think I saw a trailer. Edge the wrestler.
I don't know who that is.
Oh, okay. So you don't know wrestling. All right, never mind. I think he plays Ares. I think something was like that.
Oh, you don't know wrestling? No.
Yeah, you don't
Absolutely
know wrestling,
not.
bitch.
I don't know wrestling.
Isn't Rey Mysterio in that?
I think I would know if I saw him in his stupid mask.
Yeah, that's right. He plays Aphrodite, Rey Mysterio. Okay, yeah, I never got into like the Percy Jackson books. I heard they were good, you know, when I was like younger, and
I never read them. I really like the Percy Jackson movies. I don't think they were great, but I think there's a lot that could go good if they do some good
they only did like 2 movies, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because like
I just really like gods and stuff. Like I think it's gonna be cool.
Like they only like there are like a bunch of other books in the series, right? Like it's like 6 or 7 or 8.
I think 5. No.
Okay.
Was there 8?
I have no idea. That's what I'm guessing. I'm surprised they never, because there was a book that I got really obsessed with, like young teen books. Obviously when I was a young teen. But there was a series that I really enjoyed by James Patterson.
5 books.
Called Daniel X. It's essentially like this kid who is like a teenager who essentially is like a alien bounty hunter, technically. And I really enjoyed it. I think I got like all the books, but I never read through all of them. And yeah, James Patterson is I like his books, you know, for the most part.
I don't know James Patterson.
Maximum, I believe he's Maximum Ride. I think that's his other series. Either way, James Patterson is like kind of all over the place when it comes to like books. He does like some young adult books, and then he also does like adult books. But I do like his young adult stuff. It's pretty good. From what I remember, I don't read them. I'm not a child. You ever debated that? Like, ever going back to like young adult books to read?
Yeah, I'm currently reading Maze Runner.
Okay, that's fair.
I mean,
I do want to read Ender's Game.
Edgar's Game?
Ender's Game.
Ender's Game. Oh.
Edgar's Game.
I was like, I don't even know.
No Kimika. Sorry.
I don't know what that means. Thanks.
It's alright. It's a Latino joke, but it's alright.
Oh, there's a movie. You don't have to read it. Don't worry.
If Wesley was here, he would get it.
That's
he's
right. Simp for Wesley.
yeah. I won't. For now. All right. Yeah. I mean, I do want to read like some books, but I think I'm more in the line of like just getting audiobooks for it, because reading takes time, bro. I haven't even finished the first book of the Sin trilogy, of the Sin Wars trilogy.
Though, it does feel good to like. It's gonna sound so old. It feels good to hold the book and read.
What are you, old?
I know. It's really weird, but like, it's something that like once it's gone, it'll never be known. You know, like it just will be unknown at that point.
I guess
nobody will really remember like how that feels and stuff, which is fine. Like reading on a tablet is fine too.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I was debating on getting a Kindle for like a good while, but I'm like, I don't really sit down and read. Like
Kindle's for like 90-year-olds, so.
Well, guess what? I'm a 90-year-old at heart, baby.
Yeah, I can tell.
But you know, I've been straying towards more audiobooks. Like I just resubscribed to like Audible, and I think I have like 2 credits, but I'm debating on like what to get. But I am going through the fucking Silmarillion, the Lord of the Rings shit. Hold on, sorry. It looks like my computer just bugged out a little bit. Yeah, the Silmarillion, the Lord of the Rings shit. And I think I'm hating the fact that J.J.R. Tolkien is J.R. Tolkien. Excuse me, J.R. Tolkien. J.J.R. I'm thinking of J.K. Rowling for some reason. I think I hate the fact that he's over-explaining the world of Middle Earth, because like I'm in like the first couple, like I think the second chapter I'm probably on, but he basically explains like how the world was created. Basically, this weird elf god existed, and like the music was a big part of their universe. And I'm like, I think I hate this. I think this is really dumb. And then it's, and then he's like, then the evil Morgoth came into effect, and I'm like, yeah, I think I'm hating this, but I'll probably like listen to it a little bit more. But I have wanted to like listen / read more fantasy novels. I think it was because of this podcast that I listened to. Like I just see clips from them a couple times, but I think the podcast is called Two to Ramble, I think it's called. But yeah, they basically give like recommendations like what books to check out in the fantasy genre. And a lot of their stuff is like Brandon Sanderson stuff. So probably look up a little bit of Brandon Sanderson, because he finished The Wheel of Time. You know The Wheel of Time, right?
I know the name.
Okay.
I've never read it.
Okay, fair enough. Anyways, enough about books. What else you got?
The only other thing I watched was what is Star-Lord in again?
Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, I watched Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special. And it was good.
Mm-hmm.
Enjoyed it.
That's good.
As for things I've played, I played some Diablo 2.
Because you hate that 4.
Resurrected. Huh?
Because you hate that 4.
Yes.
Okay. I gotta play,
especially after hearing about what they're gonna do with 4.
I don't remember what they're planning on doing. Would you like to elaborate?
Yeah, I really would like to.
Yeah, you do that. You
So,
bastard.
season 2, they're gonna add more endgame monsters to fight. Yay!
Yay.
So what they're doing is they're bringing back Duriel, which he was already in the game.
Wait, he's already in 4, but they're bringing him back?
Yeah.
Oh. Oh no.
There's more people I believe they're bringing back. I can't remember literally everything off the top of my head. But the main things that stuck out were 5 new endgame bosses to fight, which is good. Don't get me wrong, that's a good thing. But that does not take back the fact that the game still doesn't feel good. Like, it still doesn't feel good to go to these areas. More specifically, like, the swamp area feels bad.
I mean, most swamp areas in video games don't feel good.
Yeah, that's fair. I guess it's because they're all connected. It feels not as good. More in like Diablo 2 and 3, you could teleport and you never had to see the other place, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really like know how to articulate like the best way of why I don't like everything. It just overall just doesn't feel like a good game. And really what it has to do more with is like every time you go into a dungeon, it's never different. The dungeon doesn't have like 5 different pathways that could become one of the randomized ones you go. It's just always you go into the dungeon never changes, so you run through that dungeon and you'll never feel a difference in each dungeon because each one is locked as a certain dungeon.
So I remember I asked you this of like having it being like a set map, and it seems like having a set map seemed to be a detriment to this game. Yeah,
in my opinion.
Yeah, that seems, because I didn't really mind when the dungeon resets, or like when the world changes. I didn't really mind that in the older games, but like I don't know, it sounds like it's you're gonna be going through a lot of the same shit over and over again, which
I didn't like 3 for the same reason. 3 had a lot of very like
similar
locked in areas.
Oh yeah, 3 did. I like 3 though.
Yeah, listen, I don't hate people for liking 3. I
hate 3.
I just don't like it feels arcadey. I don't like it.
Oh yeah.
Personally, I like the grunge and everything and the grime.
That's why.
That's what 4 brought back, but it didn't do it right. So whatever. So the ultimate like thing here that is happening is, one of the like high up, maybe he's like the guy that runs the whole Diablo scene. I don't know who it is exactly, but they had said, don't get comfortable with 4. We're making 5.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Well, they lost 99% of their player base. They boasted that, when the game was being made, get ready, there's going to be more expansions than just one, because Diablo 3 only got 1. And now with them saying that get ready, 5 is coming, I can only imagine that means we're getting 1 expansion for 4, and that's probably it.
That's unfortunate.
And then they're going to make 5. If they can make 5 what I want to play, I will play it. But I will not pre-order it. I will not day one play it. I will watch someone stream it, and I will see if I like it from there.
Yeah,
the same thing I'm doing with Destiny.
That's really unfortunate to hear, because it's like, this game just came out this year, and you're already talking about 5?
Yep.
Like, it hasn't even been 5 months. It's like, what is happening?
Well, you have to think about it, right? So I don't know if people are still buying the skins, but if you lose 99% of your players, the people that are there probably are about the skins they want. You're losing a lot of people that are going to keep buying battle passes that are not doing it anymore.
Yeah.
The people that are left are probably streamers.
Yeah, for the most part, I have been seeing people stream it. I haven't played it.
And then if you look at some of the streamers that were streaming it and not doing it anymore, they say they're not doing it anymore because everyone left and doesn't want to watch it.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess the hype for the game really did die out within like the first month.
Yeah.
But I think that was also the issue, is that like Blizzard wasn't really saying anything with it. Like they were talking big talks, like you were saying before, but it's like, what is the current season? The season of Malignance?
Yeah, malignants. Yeah, it's like zombies.
Okay, and it's just like, and he talks about anything else?
Season 2. That's what they talked about recently.
Yeah.
And that's like the biggest thing. I don't know her name. Some Asian lady is gonna be the main character.
Okay.
And it's supposed to be really big because like she's been in a bunch of shows and stuff. I'm sure like a movie or something.
Mm-hmm. Is Megan Fox gonna be in there?
No. Oh, you know Megan Fox was in MK.
That's true. Her time went to Mortal Kombat.
But overall, it doesn't look great to me. I think I'm okay.
Okay. Well, I probably have to give Diablo 4 a shot just so I have a little bit more.
Swear to God, if you're like, it's so good, I'm gonna rip your.
I'm kind of afraid. I'm kind of afraid because like I did enjoy that beta, but it's just like I like
beta was fun.
Yeah, I liked the beta. I liked the story of like what it was doing, what it felt like it was doing, but I just didn't want to go back into it because literally, I think, what was it, like the beta came out and then the second beta came out and then the second beta was so close to release date that I was just like, I don't want to play the full game right now. Like I'll get it, but I don't want to play it right now because like I don't want to redo fucking Act 1 all over again. So I just like stopped for a good bit, and I think now is probably a good time just to like boot it up because since nothing too crazy is happening as of the moment, might as well just check it out. But you know, there are too many games.
Her name is Gemma Chan, by the way.
Gemma Chan?
Gemma Chan. She's in Crazy Rich Asians. She was in Eternals.
Oh, I've seen her face before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She doesn't like, her being in it doesn't make me like
go, oh my God.
Yeah. It would make me be really excited about it. I'd be like, oh shit, it's her. But the game's boring, so I don't care enough. It's something that I feel like they're trying to be like, hey, look.
Yeah.
This actress is in it. Doesn't that make you want it? And I'm like, no. Nope.
Ooh, man.
I do like her though.
I can't wait to talk about MK. But
sorry.
Yeah, no. You go ahead because I'm saving up a lot. But you go.
No, just Diablo 4 is bad.
Chonch will check it out. Chonch will stream it and say he loves it.
Yeah. I mean, I was like really wanting to play with you through it when it came out, and honestly I'm glad we didn't, because like you would have just heard me be like, oh, this is bad.
I hate this. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. There's a few things here and there, of course, that I liked, but overall, bad game. What's it called? Yeah. I don't know. Played Valorant League, and I really like Valorant a lot. It's really hard to play. If you played CSGO, you know.
I don't. If only Wesley was here and he was like, yeah, I've played CSGO. I'm a super pro at it.
I tried Phantasma, or the scary game that Wesley got.
I want to say Phantasmagoria, but that's definitely not it.
Phantasmophobia.
That's what it is.
Played that.
You like your time with
my
it?
graphics card can't handle it. So I turned it. I had to like look into the settings really heavily because there's like little nuanced things here and there that you got to turn off. And I made it look like, in my opinion, it looked like the original Doom game for
like bit crushed essentially.
Yeah, it looked like I was playing on a Windows 95 PC.
Okay.
It worked. It ran really, really well at that point.
Yeah.
But I was like, I'll wait for my graphics card.
Yeah. That's how it's gonna be with PC games.
I am gonna get Remnant 2 on here. It's on sale now, but I'm gonna wait for super duper sale in winter. And then I think if you are down, I'd like to play with y'all if you
Yeah,
You guys want to?
I bought the game and I have not booted it up. Wesley's the only person that booted it up.
Okay. I honestly, if you guys had played it, I don't mind. Like, it's nice
Yeah.
to have somebody knowing what they're doing, so I don't have to. Like,
Yeah, maybe then I can show up with the super cool armor and be like, all right, here, little
this
bitch.
guy's never gonna let us let this shit down.
It's so funny too because like I went back and played the original Remnant and I got that armor and I'm like, what the fuck?
It wasn't even hard to get.
It wasn't. No.
Yeah, it's like the second area.
Yeah. It's so stupid. And it's not
funny
even it's not even good either.
No. I mean, it's honestly good for like most of it. There's better armor.
I mean, I played that game for a good bit. There's better armor.
The fuck was I gonna say? Oh, it's in my library. There's this game. I don't think you've ever probably heard of this. You ever heard of OS?
OS?
OSU.
OS. No.
Okay, it's a. It's a video game worked on by I guess a handful of people, I believe. Some people in a server turned me onto it, and it's kind of like those Asian phone games where you tap to the music and you have to follow your finger to where it goes.
I think it sounds vaguely familiar. Now I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, so it has a huge player base. It's been around forever, like 2012 or even longer. So they were telling me to play it. I told them I like those type of games, and they were like, "Oh yeah, just try it." I'm terrible. It is so hard.
Yeah.
They were saying you need to get a webcom tablet, the like drawing ones, and they were like,
"Yes, okay,
then you can play it."
Now I heard of this. I remember hearing about that. Of like people being like, "Yeah, I bought like a Wacom tablet just to play this fucking game."
So there are Wacom tablets that are literally, like they have OS descriptions in the description for. They're like, it's really good to play OS, because like the fans of OS love it so much, and they've like I guess hit up Wacom and be like, hey, could you guys make a better tablet for us? And they're like, nope.
That's so weird, dude. But
yeah. I mean, I'm bad. It's cool.
Okay, that's good.
It has a ton of songs on there. I don't know how that works, but whatever. There's this game called Nox. I don't think you know about. It's very old, Windows 95 shit that I used to play. Couldn't get it to run for the longest time. Finally figured a workaround that makes it barely work. And I am loving this game. Holy shit, it's terrible, but it's so much fun to play again. The story is bad. Like you're in like normal reality, and a wizard or dark wizard lady pulls you through, and it's only because she's trying to get a powerful orb for magic reasons. And so you come through. Your guy is like lands on an airship, and this like dude is like, what are you doing here? And calls you an imp, and then you're just like, I don't know, my girlfriend made bacon though. I need to get back to eat it. Ha ha ha. 90s like jokes. Right?
I guess,
That's
yeah.
It. It's dumb. It's all it's meant to be dumb. So, but it's got great magic in it. It has a lot of fun weapons and armor to get, and it's just a game I remember playing when I was younger. So I was excited to play it. I played Heroes of Might and Magic 4. I love that game. I reinstalled Star Conflict, played some of that, and that's it.
All right, that's good.
Yeah.
You played a good amount of video games.
Yeah.
That's good, man. Trying to think about what to talk about first.
Just ripped directly into MK11.
MK12, actually.
Wait, isn't it MK1?
It's MK1. It's so stupid because I remember hearing somebody talk about like, why is it called MK1? And it's like, well, technically it's MK12 because it's 1, 2. It's so dumb. It's so.
Wait, is it 1, 2?
It's no,
because it's the second number 1.
No, stop. No, I'm not gonna get into.
That why?
No.
I want to know why now.
You want to know why? Because MK9 was a reboot, so this is the second time they're rebooting. So it's
so
1,
2.
1, 2. No, it's MK1.
Sports.
Anyways, I guess I'll just talk about the movies that I watched just to like get that out of the way because it's not anything too crazy that I've been watching. But if Wesley was here, we could we could talk about Baki. Baki's really stupid. Oh my god, is Baki super dumb?
Is that the fighting one?
Yes, it's the fighting
Okay.
one. That like season that I watch is really fucking dumb. It is so stupid. Baki fights his dad with the power of pee.
Like peeing?
Yes.
Wonderful.
Yep. Good show. But besides Baki being stupid, I watched Too Fast, Too Furious because I'm kind of like entering the zone of watching fucking Fast and Furious movies. I really liked Fast and Furious, Too Fast, Too Furious, excuse me. I was like, you know what? Let me watch Tokyo Drift again. I rewatched Tokyo Drift. I really like the style of that movie, but man, is the plot so fucking stupid. It's really dumb. But you've seen most of the Fast and Furious movies, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Saw Tokyo Drift and then maybe one more.
Okay. Yeah, it's just so goofy at the fact that like at the end, in order to beat the bad guy, we drift. And so it's so stupid at the fact that like DK literally draws a gun at the main character and like the main character's dad comes out and he's like, you gotta go, you gotta leave. And he's like, no, Dad, I gotta figure things out. I'll do it my way. And it's just like, just exile him into fucking like, it's, oh my god. Drift him into exile. It's so stupid. But yeah, that movie has a lot of style. A lot of the Fast and Furious movies have a lot of style. But Too Fast Too Furious I really did like. I liked Too Fast Too Furious so much that I bought a Lego set. You can't see it because it's blurred. There you go. You kind of see it.
I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty cool.
It's the Nissan Skyline from Too Fast.
Hell yeah!
With a Lego Paul Walker in there.
Hell yeah, dude.
I'm debating whether or not to make it a stream of me building this thing. But we'll see. And it's got me kind of into a rabbit hole of looking at other Lego sets. Yo, Lego sets are expensive, bro.
Mm-hmm.
It sucks. It sucks how expensive they are. But the Too Fast Too Furious like thing was like $20, and I was like, yeah, I'll get it. And then I also got like Dominic's car, but then I saw that like yeah, I saw it and I was like family. But I saw that like Lego has their like line of car related of Legos, yeah, called Technic. And that's like more intricate kind of. And they also had Dominic's car, but like more intricate. It's like $95 for it. And I'm like, damn. But then I saw that Lego also had the Horizon Zero Dawn set. Do you remember that?
No.
Yeah, they have like a tall walker, like the giraffe looking thing from Horizon Zero Dawn. And I think that's like $75. Like it's not bad. Like it's actually like really nicely sized. But yeah, I Legos, that was supposed to be part of my week of kind of looking at Lego sets. Because yeah, there's so many Star Wars Lego sets. I kind of want to build an R2-D2. I have to think about it.
There's a bunch of cool ass Lego stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool Star Wars shit, but you know, I have a love-hate relationship with Star Wars, but that's besides the point. So yeah, after Too Fast Too Furious, I watched a Netflix series called Painkillers. Did you hear about this? Or have you seen it on Netflix?
Nah.
So Painkillers is basically a dramatization of the opioid epidemic, specifically about Oxycontin.
Yeah, I remember hearing about it now. I just don't remember
Okay.
the entire thing.
So it's a very like stylized show in the sense that like it does a lot of dramatization of like thought processes of like specific people. The show also like starts out saying that like a lot of the shit is really dramatized for television, but the beginning of the show actually has a real life person who has had a family member pass away with opioids, and basically it's them being like, yeah, this is, you know, even though the show is dramatized, the actual like occurrence of this thing really messed things up. But it's an interesting watch just to see of like behind obviously the big dramatization stuff, the actual like facts about it, of like how Purdue Pharma was like really hammering the fact that this thing works and is really trying to like appeal to people who have mild pain to take this thing. And you know, people seeing the ingredients of the pill and being like, this thing is like a lethal dose of heroin, what are you doing? Yeah, it's just a wild thing to watch. But I enjoyed it. And yeah, it's kind of crazy because I had a coworker who had to go in for a what is it? He had to get his appendix taken out because it was on the verge to burst. But he mentioned to me, he's like, I had to take a painkiller, and he's like, I couldn't take a second one because it was really fucking me up. And I was like, good thing you didn't, because that shit would have really fucked you up. Because they prescribed to him oxy. So, but yeah, it's just, if you have like somewhat interests in like the opioid epidemic, then I would recommend the show Painkillers, even though it does do really goofy shit of like its drama stuff. It is interesting. The other thing I watched on Netflix was a collection of Roald Dahl books directed by Wes Anderson.
What?
Yep.
What is that? Huh?
Yeah, you heard me.
Elaborate?
Roald Dahl? Do you know who Roald Dahl is?
No.
Okay, hold on. Am I saying his name correctly? Is it not Ronald Dahl or something? Oh, Roald Dahl. Excuse me. Roald Dahl, if you don't know who he has written books such as Matilda, The BFG, James and the Giant Peach, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Fantastic Mr. Fox. No, not coming to mind?
No, I got it. I was eating pepperoni.
All right, that's right, bitch. Put some respect on his name.
Put some pepperoni on his name.
Yeah, that's fair. So Wes Anderson has directed a couple of Roald Dahl books into movies. He did Fantastic Mr. Fox.
Yes.
So this thing was like out of nowhere because I saw Benedict Cumberbatch and I was like, oh, a Wes Anderson thing. And I was like, wait, there's another Wes Anderson thing and another Wes Anderson thing, all on Netflix. And essentially just short stories that Roald Dahl like wrote but never really finished. So each one of these is like a short movie. But you know, they're done in the style of Wes Anderson. So like they're very stage performative. Like it feels like you're watching a stage show. I enjoyed it for the most part. I really did like I'm trying to think of which ones I liked. Oh yeah, hold on. So there were four of them. Sorry, I should really say their names. So the first one is The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar. The second one is called The Rat Catcher. Third one is called Poison, and the fourth one is called The Swan. I think I like The Swan, even though it's like the most performative out of all of them. It's really enjoyable, and it's funny because like I saw this guy's face, the guy who's doing the performance, and I initially thought it was Orlando Bloom for a second, but I'm like, wait, that's not Orlando Bloom. I'm like, where have I seen this guy?
It does look like him.
It looks like him, but you know who that guy is? He played Agent 47 in one of the Hitman movies. Not Timothy Oliphant, the other, like the newest Agent 47 movie.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah. I remember seeing his face, but I was like, I don't think I've seen him in anything else. But he's really good in that. But yeah, The Poison is also, I think that I would have to put that at second. Ratcatcher maybe fourth, and then The Wonderful Story of
Ratcatcher is such a funny name.
It's weird because it's like Ralph Finesse is also Roald Dahl in the, because they do a thing where it's like Roald Dahl comes out of nowhere to like break the narrative and basically like tell you about like his mindset at that time. It's like I said, it's very, very weird. But it is enjoyable. Like if you like watching like if you like Wes Anderson's quirkiness, then you probably enjoy.
I really like Richard Ayoade too.
Yes,
he's his name well.
Richard Ayoade.
Is it Ayoade?
I believe it's Ayoade.
Yeah.
He's also very good. Yeah, he's very good in it. Yeah, it's just a little fun collection that you can just binge, and like I think the longest one is like 24 minutes. Like they're not that long. Benedict.
They're shorts.
Yeah, they're shorts. Yeah, I think the shortest one is like 7 minutes.
Ow.
Yeah. But they're enjoyable to watch because I like Wes Anderson. Like I like his stuff. Yeah, so that's what I watched. I watched a movie called The Monuments Men. You ever watch this?
Huh?
The Monuments Men?
Yeah, that's old.
How old?
2016 maybe?
Yeah. Around
Was
there.
it?
I don't know. I don't remember. But it was directed by George Clooney.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I like World War II like related stuff, so I was interested in this movie. I remember I was interested in it when it was like announced, but I never got around to it. I do like the, can't even say the premise because it's like it's an actual thing that happened, but like I was interested in like learning about like that kind of stuff of like what the Nazis were doing with like historical artifacts and shit like that. So it was a really interesting movie to watch, just like understand what the Nazis' plans were to do with all this stuff, and essentially it was just to hoard it. But the thing that I have some criticism on is George Clooney's directing, or even the play, like the writing of the movie, because it feels very weirdly lighthearted, even though like the time that it's in is like incredibly serious. And there are things that happen in that movie where like it is like incredibly dark at points, but the movie tries to be so lighthearted at times. Like it was weird. It was really, really weird. But overall I like the movie. I don't know if I've seen anything else directed by George Clooney. Was The Descendants his movie? I don't remember.
I don't know. Thinking about it now, the Cloonster,
The Clooney. I know he got arrested that one time, but that's besides the point. Yeah, I think for like protesting or something. But yeah, it was a good movie. It was on Netflix, so I was like, fuck it, I'll watch it. Because like Bill Murray is in it, John Goodman, Matt Damon was the other one.
Yeah, it had a lot of big names.
Yeah, so it was alright. It was good. And the last thing that I watched this week that I finished watching was The Purge, the first movie. I never saw the first Purge movie.
Oh.
It's alright. It's kind of an alright movie.
You're right. It was alright.
It was alright. Alright. It had a lot of tropes that it fell into. The setup was really stupid. And then like in the long lasting effect of like, would the Purge really work out? Probably not in the real world, but still we're kind of getting to that point. I just really think it's dumb because even the fact of like the Purge would cause so many problems within class systems. And obviously that was the biggest point in that movie, was that like rich people could purge whenever they wanted to. And it's just like the homeless people that got really fucked over. Yeah, it's a goofy movie. I enjoyed it. It kind of sucks at the fact that like Ethan Hawke did like cool moments of action and then died within like 5 minutes of doing the cool action shit. Yeah, it's an alright movie. Cause like I was at my cousin and her fiance's house, and my other cousins were there, her sisters, and we were just like, let's watch the Purge movie. And my cousin's fiance was like, yeah, we'll watch all of them. And then as soon as the movie starts, I look over and the man is sleeping. And I'm like, all right. All right.
A little ambitious, you know?
Yeah, a little too much. A little too ambitious. So yeah, we watched the movie. It was all right. And then afterwards, I was with my cousin. I was just like, we should probably watch another movie. My cousin was like, okay. So we watched a movie that I watched. I think I mentioned it on the podcast like way before. It was called I Saw the Devil. It's a Korean movie. I really like that movie. I forget how fucking gruesome and violent that movie is. But I really like it. But unfortunately, my cousin and her fiance were both still asleep. So, and I'm like, cool thing is happening, and I'm like, oh man, and I look over and they're just asleep. No, not even I look over. I just hear them snoring. So I just watched the entire movie again, and I'm like, yeah, it's a good movie. I really like it. It's very violent though. Like it's very graphic as well. And yeah, I guess like stuff that I'm currently watching. I'm still watching Ultraman, obviously. I'm probably gonna start a Kamen Rider series sometimes after probably finishing Ultraman. And I started watching One Piece.
The anime.
The anime, yes. Not the live action. Not yet, anyways. I like it. I'm liking One Piece. It's alright. It's okay so far.
I disagree.
That it's okay?
Yeah.
I mean,
It's so boring.
not really. No.
It feels slow to me.
Well,
And the reason I think that is because I watched the live action, and they're quicker to get everything done.
yeah, because that was the problem with that show coming out at the time it did, because the story was like a little farther ahead manga wise, but like obviously to boost up time they had to do filler episodes. Funny enough, One Piece, I think I saw like it has like only like 9% of filler compared to Naruto, where Naruto is like 50 something percent of filler.
I don't think One Piece came out to kids as quick though as Naruto did. Naruto was like back when Dragon Ball came out, and they were like
No,
having to fill us.
no, that's wrong. One
Okay.
Piece came out at the same time as Dragon Ball.
Remember that? Like I just don't remember it.
Well, it came out in like 2000s around here specifically. Naruto came out in like 2007, 2008.
Interesting.
Yeah,
it's weird. It's weird because like nobody that I knew watched it. It was either Naruto or Dragon Ball.
yeah, it wasn't until like recently where, well, I had a friend in high school who was watching One Piece at the time, so he knew a good amount. But he enjoyed the series. He didn't really get too much into Naruto, funny enough. Wesley was the one I knew that like really got into Naruto. I got into Naruto a little bit earlier because I think I was like in middle school when it came out, and then I just fell off. Like I think before the time skip, and then I just never went back to it because I was like the amount of fillers in that show like really bugged the fuck out of me. And this is coming from someone that watched fucking Dragon Ball, like Dragon Ball Z, and Dragon Ball Z has a fucking like filler.
Yeah. Oh no, for sure.
Yeah. So that's why I do appreciate like shit like JoJo, where JoJo's like that shit that they already like adapted is done. So it just can move, but sometimes it's kind of a detriment because like season 6 of JoJo moves, it feels like to me like at a breakneck speed of just like, oh no, it's covering all the stuff, but it feels so fast that it's covering over. Yeah, it's One Piece is interesting because like that's also the other thing is that when you talk about heavy hitters, people usually tend to go to One Piece or Dragon Ball back in that time.
There you go. So One Piece came out in 2004 in America, and Dragon Ball Z came out in 1996.
In Japan, right?
No, in the United States, 1996.
Dragon Ball Z specifically?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah.
But that was the only reason I was saying like the filler stuff is like because I feel like they had to like I don't know something about attention span with us when we were younger. At least, like, that's what I would think, but maybe not.
Well, what I've heard is that, like, media wise, it's because they were trying to, like, draw out the time. Specifically at the fact that, like, either chapters weren't finished, so they didn't know what to do. And had
Okay.
Yeah, so they had to wait a good bit before they can adapt that chapter specifically. Because
that makes way more sense than what I said. Because I assumed like they were just like Americans are dumb.
Cause no, because like specifically now, like as animation studio companies are like waiting for the authors to do new chapters, so they basically like put the animation on hiatus at times. Because like My Hero Academia did that at a point where the author had to come out and be like, yeah, I'm taking like a leave, so like you guys are gonna have to wait for like the next couple chapters, and then on top of that the show has to be put on hiatus because they can't necessarily just make some bullshit up like they did with Naruto. So yeah, it's interesting to see that now.
We're gonna go pick flowers.
We're gonna go hunt a cat. Do 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 do.
Man, now that you say that, it's kind of crazy that there is filler ever.
Yeah, it was a wild time, but it was just like
because filler is technically just made up stuff from what, like the American side, or
no, filler has always existed.
So weird.
Yeah, no, it's just always existed because remind you, those shows came out earlier in Japan. And people had to go through the exact same shit.
Oh, they still had filler over there? Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was just an American thing.
No, it existed over there. It's just
but like GT came out and that was complete all filler.
That was all filler. Even Super Saiyan 4. I like that form, and that's just a filler form.
I liked it too, man.
I have the figures. I have fucking Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Vegeta. Like, they look so cool. But that's...
Do the fusion?
Unfortunately, they don't come with the hands that do the fusing. That's the unfortunate. They look cool posing, but...
So you like One Piece?
Yeah, so far the anime is pretty okay.
I might give it another chance.
It's alright. You might as well try out JoJo, bitch. But you won't. I know you won't.
I would rather watch... I wouldn't. That's a lie.
Yeah, that's a lie.
Watch JoJo. I was gonna say I'd rather watch Food Wars, and I don't. I hate it's such a dumb show.
It is. I've seen those people orgasming to food.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Funny enough, that guy has done hentai. Actually, that's not funny enough.
Shocking.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
So shocked.
Yeah, he's done hentai. Yeah, I guess that's kind of it for like stuff that I'm currently watching. I just want to mention this one little thing that I watched on YouTube. It was a no-clip documentary on the Burger King games. Do you remember the Burger King games?
Oh, the one like Xbox and shit?
Yes.
Holy shit, yeah.
Yeah, so No Clip has a documentary on like basically how that came into fruition.
How old is the YouTube video? Because I might have seen it.
It's not old. It just came out recently.
Okay. I watched something, not a documentary maybe, but like
a video essay?
just talking about them at some point.
Okay. I would recommend watching that because it is really, really interesting.
What's it called? No Clip?
No Clip.
Okay.
No Clip is the channel.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Stuff that I watched. Yeah, it's basically it on Netflix. I guess for stuff that I played, before I get into the big shit, what did I play? What did I play? I did finish Resident Evil 4 Separate Ways, the Ada campaign. I gotta say, Resident Evil 4 is kind of my GOTY contender. I have a bias to that game, but it's so fucking good. Bro, I put into like, I think now I have like 80-something hours into the game or more. Because of me doing like different runs and just trying.
Question, you played it on PC?
Resident Evil 4?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Use settings, how did it run?
On the settings, I kind of had to tweak some things because I think like NVIDIA Hairworks is like a huge issue and something else, but I have it in like relatively high settings.
Visually, it looked good?
Yeah.
Okay. Just wondering because I haven't played any Resident Evil recently, and that's like after seeing you play recently, that I was like, I really want to play this. So I'll probably be looking into it. I'm not sure.
Or just get it for PS5. It's still good. Visually, it's still good. Okay, well.
I want to play everything on PC at this point.
Okay. Okay, Dan. But yeah, the Ada campaign itself was really good. I really think as a package now, RE4 Remake is one of the best things you can get to play like right now. Because of the story, going back to it, trying to do better runs, getting better ranks, getting the unlocks. On top of that, the Ada campaign is also good because of doing the exact same thing as I stated before. And then Mercenaries is also really fun as well, just to like finish off hordes of enemies. Because that's why I kind of overslept today, because I was up from like 11 yesterday because I took a nap before, but I was up from like 9.
Napping.
Yeah, I took a nap yesterday around like 5, and then I woke up around like 9, and then I was up for the entire time, so that's why I streamed. But then after I finished streaming, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna play some more Resident Evil. And I saw that for the update for Mercenaries, if you get S+ rank for everybody in all the stages, you get Leon's Raccoon City police department costume. So I was like, I'm gonna get that, and that's what I did the entire time.
Breathes heavily.
I did that the entire time, so that I finished like around like 10 o'clock, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna shut my eyes. And I went to my bed, and then I got a text message from my mom being like, hey, what are you doing? It's like, I'm trying to sleep.
I'm dead inside.
I'm so tired. So that's why I woke up like nowish when you sent that message being like, Chonch hasn't responded. Yeah, I was asleep. Yeah, I think overall the whole package of Resident Evil 4 is genuinely like really good. And for $9 for the Ada campaign, I think it's really worth it. It's really, really good. Well, $10 technically. Yeah. Trying to think anything else I played on my own time that I'm playing on my own time. I beat Miles Morales, Spider-Man, to make way for Spider-Man 2, because I
thought you already beat that.
I played it with Wesley, and Wesley was the one that was playing the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't get to see like any of like the side content or anything like that. So I just didn't know of like what was there, like side story wise. And I like it. I really liked Miles Morales. I think I like it a little bit more than base Spider-Man, to be honest, because Miles feels so different, power wise, obviously. And I was trying to get all the trophies, so I played that game twice, because I did New Game Plus. So Miles Morales I beat twice, and yeah, it's a good game. I'm very excited for Spider-Man 2, obviously, coming within a couple weeks. Currently I'm playing Alan Wake, because like I'm trying to refresh my memory of like what the fuck happened.
When is another one? The second one coming out?
I believe the 27th or something.
Okay, it's really quick.
Yeah, it's coming out like relatively soon this month.
How are you feeling about the first one?
I remember liking the first one. I remember I really, really liked it, but I just forget like the like main story stuff, or like how the fuck Alan gets into this whole situation.
Alan, how did you get here?
Alan, how are you asleep? You should be awake.
Oh my god! And then it ends.
Yeah, and it just finishes right there. Yeah, because like I remember playing the Control DLC with Alan Wake in it, and I was like, yeah, I kind of want to go back and replay Alan Wake. But yeah, I'm playing the remastered version because I bought it on PS5, and it's so weird seeing like the lip syncing with the words, because that was my issue with the first game. With the original game is that like the lip syncing was so off and it was so noticeable, and I just like was like, what is happening? Yeah, it was just weird. But yeah, Alan Wake is awoken. Trying to think. Trying to think anything else I've been playing before I tear into the thing that has been taking up my week. No, it's just same stuff I've been playing. But I guess the biggest thing that I can talk about is Mortal Kombat 1. I played the story mode. I really like the story mode. It's so weird because like it's essentially it if you grew up with the PS2 era Mortal Kombat, it is a game that will kind of please those people. And for me, it kind of did, because I grew up in that era of like Mortal Kombat games, of the weird PS2 shit. Deadly Alliance, Mortal Kombat Deception. I didn't get Armageddon, but I heard about Armageddon. So Mortal Kombat 1 is very interesting. Story-wise, it obviously is a setup of Liu Kang's new world. But essentially he brings everybody back, including the weirdos from the 3D era of Mortal Kombat, which is bizarre. But it's obviously trying to do something new, and with the end of how the story, with the end of the story, it's obviously setting up something like MK11 did, where it had an additional story thing later on. So I feel like this is what they're planning on doing. They're probably going to do another story thing later on down the line. So yeah, the story itself is good. Gameplay wise, it is very interesting because I never really got into Mortal Kombat itself. I tried playing 11 like as is, and Mortal Kombat 11's weird because like there was something about it where it's like I'm not fully grasping it, and I don't really, I want to say find it appealing, but it's just like it's not something that I'm used to. Because I never really got into NetherRealm games, because NetherRealm games feel very different from other fighting games, obviously.
Right.
But I'm trying to get into this one, and so far I'm enjoying it. Because my boy right now is Baraka, and Baraka's really fun. But I'm trying out different characters, obviously. The second one I'm kind of like into is Smoke, and Sub-Zero. I'm probably gonna check out more characters. But the thing about the gameplay, and this is where the stuff that I'm kind of gonna rip this game into a little bit, is the fact that the game is very grindy. Is incredibly grindy, and I think that is because of the fact that it's a Warner Brothers game, and a lot of Warner Brothers games tend to be very microtransaction-y, in a sense. So, in order to unlock certain costumes and palettes and, I guess, character art, there's two ways. You either do character mastery, which is basically leveling up the character that you're playing as. I think the highest level is 35 for every character. And then you also have character mastery for your cameos. Cameos are basically your assist characters. I don't know if you've seen any of the gameplay for Mortal Kombat 1.
I watched you play.
Okay. So cameos are essentially your tag assists.
Right.
So they have a character mastery that goes up to, I believe, level 15. So that's how you get like more color palettes and like other stuff like that. Character art or costumes. And then you have the shrine. The shrine is you deposit 1,000 coins with a K, and basically it randomly generates whatever you get. And the thing is that currently the game is going through a season. I think the Season of Fire, I think it's called. But essentially it's a thing relating to Scorpion. So the shrine is randomly generated like stuff that you get. I didn't know that apparently the thing finishes due to its season, because I basically maxed out the shrine and I was like, wait, what? Because like I got all the items and then the shrine tells me, come back next season to get more stuff. And I'm like, what? Like it just stops, and then it's like, how do you get the rest of the character art and stuff like that? Well, not the character art, but the environment art, the music. And I guess it's just through your player progression as well, because you also get progression for your player ID. So a couple things about the, I guess, like getting like costumes and stuff like that. There is a store. There is a store that you have to get other premium currency. And I am part of the problem. I bought some of the premium currency because they released a Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance Scorpion skin, where he's essentially just a flaming head with scorpion suit. It's cool. He's not a skull, because originally in Deadly Alliance he was like a skull with a flaming head. It's just essentially a burnt dude's face with a flaming head. But I like it, obviously. And then I think the other premium thing was like Shang Tsung's voice as a round announcer. That was also really nice to get. But some of the costumes that you're able to buy with the premium currency, you can get if you not upgrade, but if you level up in the character mastery stuff. So this always comes back to the whole thing about the grinding thing, because once you reach like level 10, the level progression starts to diminish a lot, to the point where you essentially have to cheese the system. So this game introduced a new thing called invasions. If you saw a little bit of gameplay of what invasions is, essentially it kind of looks like a board game of like you moving around a map, and you get to like different points. So the setup for invasion is, I guess spoilers for Mortal Kombat 1's story mode, is that essentially the end becomes Mortal Kombat multiverse of madness. That different characters are coming in from different timelines and shit like that to invade your world. So the current season it's on, like I said, it's the season of Fire, I think, is a different timeline. Scorpion is looking for a new wife because his original wife was killed by Sub-Zero, and every timeline his wife is always killed. So he's just so fed up with all these fucking timelines killing off his wife that he's like, fuck it, I'm gonna burn everything. So that is your job, is to get through the different realms, and then eventually get to that end boss, which is Scorpion, and then you unlock his super cool costume. Which I did. I grinded the fuck out of this game, remind you. For a good bit, because this was also the other thing, was that you told me about your friend that wanted to play fighting games.
Mm-hmm.
And I reached out to him and I was like, hey, like, you know, let's play some Street Fighter. And he's like, I haven't really played Street Fighter, but I'm into Mortal Kombat right now. So I was like, oh, okay. And at the time I just got it. So I was like, all right, let me see where I can get into it. Whew. Okay. So the reason why I haven't reached your friend in a while is because at the beginning of when this game came out, you have to unlock cameos. So there are, I think, 4 cameos that are locked. I think it's Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Shujinko, and Motaro, and I think Goro, until 5. They're locked behind your player progression. So you have to progress in your player like leveling in order to get the rest of the cameos. So the reason why I was like, all right, let me get the rest of those cameos, so then eventually I can I can play with them in practice mode to get a feeling for them, to see whether or not I like them. And that was the problem, was that like I had to wait to get those characters in order to try them out. Now the game has updated that you can get all the DLC stuff that you couldn't before. So you can buy the rest of the cameos, you can buy Shang Tsung, that was a pre-order, and you can also buy the unlockable character Havoc, but you have to play through the story mode. That's how you unlock Havoc. So there's a lot of transaction shit that happens in this game. It feels really grimy, and I think a lot of people in the fighting game community don't really like the fact that originally, you know, the game really wanted you to unlock stuff through your player progression, but in a tournament like setting, you have to have all that stuff ready. Like, you have to have all those characters, you have to have all those cameos, and it's just like, ugh, like you're really forcing your hand upon it. But then, you know, Warner Brothers / NetherRealm came out being like, oh, you can just buy this stuff now, so you don't have to go through all that nonsense. And it's like, but what was even the point of doing it then? I know the point was to get more money out of it, but it's like, why even lock these characters behind it? And on top of that, Shang Tsung being a pre-order while his face is on the main roster list is bizarre. You know what I'm saying? Like,
is there no other way to get him?
You have to buy him. That's it. Either you got him through pre-order.
He's basically a DLC character.
Yes, but it's so bizarre because like once you boot up the main roster, he's literally right there.
Okay, so I get what you're saying.
Yeah, like, he's grayed out.
Why would you show off the guy that nobody can get?
Yeah, it's so weird. But like I said, Warner Brothers games tend to be really microtransaction-y because the thing that really comes to mind is Shadow of War, the Lord of the that game was really grindy when it first came out. It was really grindy and really gross because I think it was doing like loot box-esque things with the orcs that you can get to do the tower defense stuff.
Gross.
Yeah, it was not great until like I stopped playing the game because like, literally the end game was you doing all the tower defense stuff, and that was really grindy until like a couple years later when I interacted with somebody that was like, oh yeah, I play Shadow of War, I really like the game. And I'm like, yeah, I couldn't really get into it because of the whole grinding thing at the end. And they're like, oh no, they patched that out. I was like, what? They patched out the grindy shit? Oh man, now I should probably go back and finish that game because I got the DLC for that and I never played it. That's besides the point. So, yeah, so Invasion is one of those things where you have that kind of like plays into the cheating the system of your character mastery to unlock the rest of your character stuff. Where I learned that basically you have to like scale out all the way your attack level, and once you have it at like 199, you just do uppercuts to like enemies and you get a brutality from it, and that progresses your character level and like everything else a little bit higher up because either you get a flawless victory. You have to get a flawless victory in order to get a good amount of experience. So at the end result, that shit becomes really, really, really tedious. And the thing that made me like worry the most is the fact that like I'm like level 30 something with Baraka, and I'm like, I can't imagine doing this for like every other character. And it's like you really have to commit to one of the characters that you want to play as. Like if you want to get the rest of their costumes or like the rest of their color palettes, you have to commit, or even the fatality itself is behind the character mastery. Because I was like, oh, I want to see the rest of the other fatalities. In the other games, all you had to do was just input the command and it unlocks, and then you keep it forever. In this, you can still do the fatality, but it doesn't. If you want to remember it, it doesn't show up on your character menu. You have to unlock it in order for you to actually have it. Like, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I got you.
Okay. So yeah, basically you had a cheese system with invasions. The next season of Invasion is the season of Blood, and that will be fucking Megan Fox's character, the Nitara, which that's another thing I want to go into. Look, I know Ed Boon really likes movies. I know he really likes having like a superstar in Mortal Kombat. But fucking hell, oh my god, like the Ronda Rousey shit was really bad. Megan Fox is a bit of an improvement, but by a small ass margin. Like, oh my god, like it felt like she was just phoning in her lines and saying it in a lowercase. Like, it's so weird because it's like you see the animation of the character of Nitara and it's like, oh yeah, she's moving very like she's animated. And then you just hear Megan Fox's voice and it sounds like, you will be sucked dried. And it's like what? Why are you saying this in a lowercase?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No like emphasis to anything.
No, like her just reading the lines felt like really bad. It's not.
It's because she came off of all that Diablo 4 hype, where all she had to do was go, "Yeah, you'll die.
Yeah, you'll get it in you." I don't know. It's
if
just
you buy a game, Megan Fox might suck you dry.
Yeah, there you go. Do you want to pre-order Spider-Man 2 with the collector's edition? Get that 19 inches of Venom.
That's a lot of inches. Okay?
That's a lot. It's a lot of inches. But yeah, Megan Fox is just like, her voice reading is like, her line reading is just so fucking bad. But it's not horrible like Ronda Rousey. Ronda Rousey was really bad.
Yeah, to be fair, he never did anything like that, I'm assuming.
That's why voice acting is a craft.
Oh, for sure.
Is a fucking craft, because like you have that shit of just fucking big name actors. And that's the thing. She's an actress, but I don't want to be down on somebody. But I think the reason why Megan Fox became so big as she is because it's solely for her looks. That's it.
I literally was just gonna say, because she was really hot in Transformers.
That's it. Like,
Yeah.
she's not a good actress. Like, she was having
I
fun.
haven't seen a movie where she was good.
She was having fun in Jennifer's Body, because I remember that movie, and she was having fun. It looked like she was having fun in that movie, but like, she mainly is just like eye candy, and that's it. And it's just like, stop doing this. Stop putting people who you suggest is like eye candy into fucking voice roles like this that you have to convey an actual emotion out of them. And it's so funny because it's like literally towards the end of the story mode, Nitara still shows up, but she doesn't fucking speak. So it's like they had Megan for like a couple days. I don't know, because like the cool thing about the story mode is that literally at the end you can choose your own character, like a different alternate version of like the character that you want to play as. And I don't know if Nitara still speaks, probably she does, but like either way, it's just like Megan Fox not great. And it's making me really worried because it's just like, holy fuck, like you can't keep doing this shit. You can't keep doing this shit, Mortal Kombat.
I hope she comes back in Mortal Kombat 2 too.
So here's the thing, like, whole Omni-Man is coming, and he's gonna be voiced by J.K. Simmons. But J.K. Simmons knows how to voice act. The only unfortunate thing is I don't think there has been any word about Homelander, whether or not Anthony Starr is going to be voicing him, which I'm really worried about. I do hope that they get him, because the biggest thing that I was like, oh, was MK11 when they got the Terminator, but it wasn't voiced by Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
It was a dude doing an impersonation, and it was really noticeable. Like, it was really noticeable. It sounded like if I tried to do a fucking Schwarzenegger impression.
Well, now you gotta do it.
I would be back. Like, it sounded like that.
Man, that's great.
Yeah, you're welcome. Hire me, Ed Boon.
Did you do
was
that
it
voice acting?
Was it me or was it Schwarzenegger? Who knows? Was it AI?
Sing the entirety of Scorpion album by Drake?
Yeah, as Terminator, as the Governator.
The Governator.
But it's funny because like they got Sylvester Stallone to be Rambo in MK11, and he's good.
Yeah.
So it's like,
well, it's him.
Wait, I think they also got the actor that played RoboCop to play RoboCop.
What about Spawn?
Keith David. But Keith David is a fucking voice actor. Besides being an actual actor.
Spawn to play Spawn?
Yeah, they got Spawn to play Spawn because he played Spawn in the animated series, I think it was.
Was it the black guy that played Spawn in Spawn?
No, that was Michael Jai White.
He was cool.
Yeah, he was cool. But no, it was Keith David because I think they were trying to get... Because MK11 is a very nostalgia game, so they got like Keith David to be in it because he played Spawn in the animated series.
Right.
So... Anyways, MK1's very grindy. I don't really like some of the stuff that they're doing with it, but overall, I got really into it. And like I said, I maxed out the shrine, the random generated shit, because I was like, oh, I want to get the maskless ninjas. And
how long did that take you?
Not the well, I mean, it took me the amount of time that we haven't been on. So, because like I said, it was randomly generated, but I didn't know that it was essentially a limited amount of generation. I thought it was going to be just like continually generating more different palettes and shit like that. But no, it's like, I got to wait for the next season to see what other stuff happens in the shrine. So I'm left with fucking coins that I don't know what to do with. So it's so bizarre. And I don't know whether or not it was confirmed if like if the coins are going to stay or if they're going to like leave after every season, which would be really fucking stupid if they do that. But we'll see, because I mean Warner Brothers, like I said. Yeah, so I got all the maskless ninjas. So I got Sub-Zero, Scorpion, Reptile, and Smoke, all maskless. So it's like they look really cool without the masks.
Smoke isn't part of them, right? Smoke isn't one of the brothers, right?
He's part of the clan. He's part of the Lin Kuei.
But Scorpion, Reptile, and Sub-Zero are actual brothers, no?
Okay. Do you want like lore shit, like for reals?
I'm just wondering. It's
All right.
like yes or no. It doesn't matter.
Damn lore shit. So in the beginning of time, uh, no. So in this game, they're brothers, Sub-Zero and Scorpion.
Okay.
In this game, they're actual like blood brothers, but like relative brothers, not like blood brothers, like sharing blood brother.
Right.
Actual relationship brothers. Smoke, on the other hand, is part of their clan, but he's like their adopted brother.
Reptile?
Reptile, on the other hand, is a part. He's a race in the Outworld realm, a race of lizards. But the reason why he looks human is because he is basically a freakazoid, kind of, where he has the ability to shift forms. So he was outcast by his people. And funny enough, if you play through the Towers mode, which gives like a character ending, you get like a huge reveal for Reptile as to like his whole thing. Same thing with Scorpion and Sub-Zero and Smoke and Baraka. Because like how the game ends in its main story is like it feels not I want to say abrupt, but it doesn't cover like everyone's like specific arcs, and obviously the character endings cover their arcs because Baraka is one of the big ones because he was just a regular dude before, but essentially what's happening in Outworld is like I guess their version of AIDS, because Baraka, so they call it Tarkat, and that's a disease that makes them that makes them into Barakas. So Melina got Tarkat somehow, and that's why she's infected. Because in the original games, Melina was a clone of Kitana with some altered genes of a Tarkatan, which is Baraka's race. So that's why Melina is all kinds of fucked up. But yeah, it's just like the character stuff is pretty neat. Like I said, the Reptile thing was pretty interesting because, like, I guess spoilers for Reptile's story mode thing. It's revealed that his race was essentially covering up the fact that his species can like transform into humans. So his plan is to find a way to like I guess help those people who've been outcast. So it was interesting. We'll see if anything happens in Mortal Kombat 13 or Mortal Kombat 2. Yeah. So like the character stuff is pretty fun. Yeah, just the grinding shit is not my favorite. And then learning the characters is interesting because that was also the other thing I was really getting into is learning the system of the game. And yeah, it's just like it feels very different from the other stuff that I played because obviously I've played Street Fighter and I've played Guilty Gear and a bunch of other Japanese related fighting games. So playing a NetherRealm game is very weird to me because of the fact that like inputting stuff takes me a while because I don't really play with a pad because this game has required me to play with a pad. Because specific inputs are direction based rather than motion based. So it feels very different, and my hands are trying to get it like accustomed to that. So I was messing around with Smoke, and Smoke has some shit of like where he's able to cancel some moves, but the input is like I wouldn't say you have to be really fast with it, but you have to input it as soon as you get the other input in. It's very weird because like moves come out before they're shown on screen, if you know what I'm saying. Probably not. I'm trying to get this like more clear.
So button combinations have to be very quick.
Yes, but button combinations have to be in succession and then they appear on screen.
Okay.
So that was the thing I was not getting. Was that like, oh, what is the timing window for this? And it's like, oh, you have to time it when Smoke is doing this specific animation and then the actual thing will come out, but depending whether or not you inputted it correctly. So literally like Smoke's last character trial, because that's what I've been doing character trials as well, is to essentially do his cancel while doing a dash forward, and I kept messing up, but then like obviously with practice I got the cancel down. And Smoke is fun. Smoke is fun. He's really interesting. But this game feels like it's very for people who are kind of seasoned to NetherRealm games. Like, it feels more in that vein rather than feeling casual, if you understand what I'm saying.
Right.
Funny enough, I guess just to go into like the online perspective, the online's not that great in this game, unfortunately. It's a mixed bag because you're being set up with people that like, I think I fought somebody with a lag switch.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I've heard that I figured they figured out how to make that not a thing. But I've heard that that's not fun.
Yeah, it's really not. In fighting game perspective, I fought 2 scorpions that did basically exact same combos, and only for them to teabag afterwards. So there's that.
Does that enrage you?
Not really, but it's just like, dude, like, you see what level I am. Like, I'm still trying to learn the game.
Yeah, that's fair.
But yeah, I think after that, like, I started playing a little bit more, and it's just like, yeah, you can kind of get the systems down, but that online is really rough, like I said, because there's a lot of people playing with Wi-Fi, and sometimes that shit really, like, you see the rollback. You actually see the rollback that happens. Like, NetherRealm games, from what I've heard, do have rollback, but it's implemented in their own way. So I don't know what the fuck's going on. And the other thing that is kind of annoying is the fact that there's no lobbies, so you can't really invite somebody unless you kind of go through this weird way of inviting them. On top of that, they have a mode that's still locked for some reason. I think it's like called Warrior Shrine or something like that. And it's never explained. There's also a trophy in the game that you can't get because they haven't explained the way to get it. It's really bizarre. Yeah, it's just a very weird game for me because like I said, I have a very love-hate relationship for it because I kept going back to it because like I like the game, how the way the game plays, and I want to try out the other cameos. I want to try out the other characters. I want to see how they feel, see what I want to get into. I've been playing this game for the 3 weeks we've been gone more than Street Fighter. And Street Fighter came out with a new character. And I haven't even tried the new character, which I probably should do. Because I hear she's really good. Yeah, it's just...
Who's the new character?
Aki. She's a poison lady.
Can you spell it?
Huh?
Spell her name?
A-K-I. It's like... kind of like an abbreviation of something. Aki. Street Fighter 6.
I just want to see what she looks like.
Yeah. People say that they can fix her, but they can't fix her.
Does she have enough feet pictures?
No.
Oh, she has like... Somebody compared it to the Danny DeVito character and always something.
Yes, it's because of her hair.
That's so funny.
Because of her hair. But she has like weird snake elements.
She kind of gets like an Orochimaru vibe.
Yeah,
only not in that dress.
That is kind of what she's going for. She's going for weird snake lady with poison stuff.
That's cool. She looks cool.
Yeah, I hear she's really fun, but I haven't.
And that's a brand new, right?
Yeah.
She's never been shown before?
Yeah, it's a brand new character.
Nice. I like when they do that.
And I think that's also the other thing, just going back to Mortal Kombat 1, is just like, no new characters, technically. These are all people that you know from the previous games, including the 3D era. Just, obviously, their gameplay is very different, obviously, but it's like, no one new. Which is the crazy thing. I didn't even think about that until somebody pointed it out, being like, yeah, it's not a new cast. It's just returning. And I'm like, yeah, that's actually right. Like, they play fun, but there's nobody really new. Even the DLC stuff, like, they're essentially characters, special guest characters, but then Quan Chi has always been there, Ermac has always been there, Takeda was in MKX, so it's like, yeah, not really anybody new. I don't think anything else that I hate with this game. Yeah, it's just super grindy, man. I think that's the thing that I don't like. It's super grindy. Oh, the game also has a bunch of bugs as well, because people have been like finding out different bugs. there was a bug where if you launch an enemy into the air and go underneath them, for some reason, the character wouldn't adjust properly, so you can like fuck up combos and shit like that. There was a thing that I just saw on Twitter recently where, oh, there's this one character by the name of Shujinko. If you don't know anything about the 3D era of Mortal Kombat games, Shujinko doesn't mean anything. But Shujinko is something to note here because he's a cameo. Shujinko's gimmick, because he was essentially the main character of Mortal Kombat Deception. The whole thing with that was that Shujinko was your player character that went to different realms, learned from other Mortal Kombat characters, and essentially took their style. And I think you could customize Shujinko's moves and stuff like that. I think, from what I remember. So the cameo gimmick with Shujinko is that he's able to take your opponent's moves, but you have to let him essentially meditate, which is his gimmick. And the meditation allows him to fill out his cameo bar. So there was a bug that I saw that Shao Kahn, or General Shao, I should say, because he's not Shao Kahn anymore. General Shao has this move where he basically does like this soft stance switching thing, where he slams his axe and then he has a different moveset. So Shujinko has the ability to do an axe slam as well. So if your opponent, as General Shao, slams his axe, and then you decide to use Shujinko to slam his axe, that General Shao character is locked into just using no axe movement. Because essentially with the soft stance switching, he gets his axe back after a couple seconds. That's how it works. But because of Shujinko fucking that up, he doesn't get his axe back. So you're stuck with this one stance. And you can't do anything. Well, you can do moves, but you can't do the things that you could do before. So that's a huge bug that I've seen. And apparently that's not like practice only. Like that's happened in matches. So there's that. Yeah, it's just like the cameo stuff is cool. I think that's the thing that I really enjoy, and that's why I do like seeing. But you can obviously see that a lot of cameos are a lot stronger than the rest, because the biggest one that people don't like is Shujinko. Shujinko is a gimmick character. He's neat in idea, but like in actual optimizing, he's just very bizarre because you have to learn what he can do with each different character, because since he just takes, their moves, you have to figure out what move they do, essentially. So it's a lot of practicing with Shujinko. But he can do some crazy ass shit. But still, like the top tier that people have decided on is Cyrax, because Cyrax has a bunch of like shit you can do with juggles and stuff like that. Yeah, Mortal Kombat 1 is a very bizarre game to me.
Juggling has always been so hard for me, and I know it's a big part of like
fighting games.
Sport fighting. Yeah.
I would say in this Mortal Kombat it's a very big thing, because now air juggling and air moves are more prevalent.
Yeah.
Like I said, I feel like this game is not really catered to casual audience. It's catered to like people who are more experienced. But still, it's system stuff, like its tutorial things, really does a relatively good job in like teaching you like the basics and also the advanced shit of what you can do. But like I said, it is the succession of putting in buttons that feels very bizarre, because it's like you have to commit to putting in that button. Because you can do a move and then you can call in your cameo, but you have to commit to the bit, and sometimes the bit doesn't work out because either the trajectory of the opponent has changed and the cameo won't hit it, or sometimes it hits the opponent too late, so the fucking opponent goes flying somewhere else. So it's like you have to be kind of precise with it. Still, nobody's super perfect with cameos and shit like that. I mean, you've seen a couple videos of people doing some cool ass shit, but still, like it is something to get accustomed to, like every other fighting game. I've only seen like Sonic Fox on Twitter being like, "Yo, fucking this character, I don't understand why people are putting them in bottom tier. This character should be in top tier because of all crazy shit you can do." And it's like, yeah, that makes sense because Sonic Fox. But yeah, as a casual / person that didn't really get into NetherRealm games, this game has a lot of issues. And I'm really hoping that they work them out, but Warner Brothers being Warner Brothers, it'll be in due time. We'll see. Yeah, that is my love-hate relationship with MK1.
Yeah.
Yep. So there you go. That was my Diablo.
True.
Yep. That was my Diablo.
Fuck Diablo.
Fuck Diablo.
Fuck Blizzard overall. Fucking shit company. Crazy.
Yeah, bro. I'm trying to think anything else that I've played besides MK1. No, that's basically it. Just MK1. I'm playing a shit ton of more Resident Evil 4, obviously.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because I want to get that S+ rank on.
Did you say you were playing Alan Wake, or you're going back to it?
I'm currently playing Alan Wake.
Gotcha.
Yeah, currently playing Alan Wake. Trying to think anything else. No, I mean I haven't booted up Octopath Traveler because the game gets really grindy as well.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll probably get back to it eventually. Yeah. Oh, that was the other thing that happened in my week. Is that stream games? I was trying to figure out stuff to play that are spooky. So I had 2 games up for to play. So obviously the biggest one that I'm currently playing right now is Amnesia: The Dark Descent, the first Amnesia game. I never played it. I've only seen like maybe a couple of Let's Plays of people playing it, because that game was so big back in the boom of Let's Players. So I'm like, yeah, I'm enjoying it. I suck at these games, but I'm enjoying it. And the other game that was up was a game called Obscure.
I've heard of it.
It was a PS2 survival horror game. It came out it was on PC for a while. It's on PC. It's on Steam. But I'm running into a bunch of issues for the PC version. Which I tried to find a bunch of workarounds, but I think overall it does not play well with having dual screens. Because I want to use my other screen to stream, and see chat, but the game kind of won't let me do that because it kind of I have to force it into a resolution that doesn't play nicely with the current resolution that I have.
Dude, is that an actual problem with games?
With some older games, yes.
Okay, because when I was talking about trying to get Nox to work earlier, that might be why it wasn't working.
It usually tends to be a lot of older games because you have to remind yourself you have to do like compatibility stuff with certain games because that's what I had. Yeah. You do compatibility stuff, or you have to like go through the properties of the game. I think it's in compatibility and like switch compatibility to like either to make it run as administrator, or change the resolution, or change it to a specific version of Windows. Yeah, so there's that. So Obscure is having that issue where it's just like it's not playing nicely with its PC version, and I've debated whether or not to try to find a PS2 version of the game or just get it and emulate it, but we'll see. We'll see about that because it's unfortunate because like it is playable, yes, but like trying to set it up with another screen, it shifts everything to that other screen. Yeah, it shifts everything to the other screen, and then when I try to try out different tabs on the other screen, the game essentially just soft locks and like doesn't display anything afterwards. So it's a very messy thing. But yeah,
have you tried slamming your fist into your computer?
I thought about it, and then I'm like, nah, this costs money. Can't do this. But yeah, those are the games that I've decided to try out or to see because spooky season. But yeah, Amnesia: Dark Descent. I gotta figure out once I finish this. Will probably be Fatal Frame 2 because I never played it, and I keep saying how much I want to play Fatal Frame.
Dad loves Fatal Frame.
Yeah, so Fatal Frame 2 because I bought all the Fatal Frame games, but I never played through all of them except for the first one. which the VODs are still up on the YouTube.
Man, who wants to take pictures of ghosts? It's just fucking lame.
Yeah, lame. Especially that fourth game when they have big boobied ladies taking pictures of ghosts while they're all wet.
Bad, yeah, I'm all on it.
Yeah, that's right. Who wants that?
How do I get this?
Yeah. So yeah, it's just like trying to find out like spooky games and shit like that. And there's some other stuff that I want to get around to, like DLC stuff, because I just remembered that I bought the DLC for Final Fantasy VII Remake and the DLC for Ghost of Tsushima, and I never got around to playing those.
Ghost of Sushi?
Yeah, the Iki Islands expansion. I never got around to it because I played the game afterwards and got all the trophies in the base game, and I was like, oh yeah, the fucking expansion shit came out, and I got all the upgrades and all the stuff like that, and I'm like, I should really play this. But I'm thinking, should I play on my own time or should I do it as streaming? And I'm like, probably do it as streaming because it's like 5 hours from what I've seen doing the main storyline stuff. And then if you want to do side content stuff, that's dependent on you. But yeah, and then obviously the Final Fantasy VII shit, because fucking Rebirth is happening in like a couple months, so I gotta get around to that to see what the fuck happens in that Yuffie DLC.
Do you remember Ghostwire Tokyo?
Yes.
Did you get it for PC?
PS5.
It's free on Amazon for PC.
Oh yeah, I saw.
Okay, I picked it up because I'm gonna play it.
I was gonna say you should try it. You should try to play it now to see how it is, and
No,
have a comparison.
No, I'll wait until the thing comes in. I'm good. Thank you.
Okay, fine.
I don't want my entire PC to die.
Just explode.
It's like, what are you trying to do here?
Man, I'm trying to think. What else have I been like opting to play with? I mean, yeah, like Liza P is a big one that I do want to get into. I can probably make an excuse being like, it technically is a Halloween game because all the scary stuff that's happening.
I mean, it's like Dark Souls-y. I think it's like dark enough to play.
It's spooky. I mean, Bloodborne is spooky. Liza P is essentially just a Bloodborne clone, so it's spooky. Fucking yeah, because I don't want to play too many things because obviously Spider-Man 2 and Alan Wake is coming out, so
Spider-Man 2 spooky too.
Yeah, Spider-Man 2 is too spooky. 3 me. Yeah, fucking yeah, man. It's rough. It's rough out here. Yeah, and even Armored Core. Armored Core, I haven't even booted it up, and I want to play it, but I'm debating whether or not to make it a thing for me or to stream it. But the thing is that I'm kind of leaning towards something for me because of the fact that it has New Game Plus stuff that adds to, like, the changing of the game. So if I were to do that on stream, it's like, am I going to continue to do New Game Plus, and then New Game Plus, and New Game Plus, and it's just like, I wouldn't say it's never ending, but it's like, it's going to get up there in time. Yeah. Trying to think of anything else. Yeah, that's it. That's it for Chunch. That's it for Chunch and what he's playing, what he watched, what he do.
Chunch be a person.
Chunch be doing. All right. You want to run through this news, or do you want to take a break?
I need a break. Sorry.
All right, we're taking a break. We're right back. All right, we're back from our break. I had a Mandarin. You went to go get water.
True.
Peepus. These are accurate. All right, so the news. So, I guess we can talk about the biggest one. Obviously, we probably missed a couple things, but, you know, I'll probably get to them next podcast, maybe. But there have been some big stuff happening. I forget, was the Sony showcase in the Nintendo Direct, like, a couple weeks back?
Yeah, we went over those before.
Did we? Which with Unicorn Overlord? Maybe.
Oh man, I can't remember what we went over.
Okay, it's fine. It's okay. Anyways, but I think moving from that, Tokyo Game Show was also part of last week. I gotta move in a little bit. Yeah, Tokyo Game Show happened. If you like Tokyo games, it's a show for you. But yeah, just a bunch of stuff that they showed, stuff that's coming out this year and stuff that's coming out next year, obviously. Nothing too crazy. They did show a little bit more gameplay for Like a Dragon 8 Infinite Wealth. Some tech
Is Fate Remnant like the Remnant game
No,
from
Fate.
the Xbox?
No, Fate is its own series.
Okay.
No,
The
don't
characters
worry.
kind of look similar. It felt like.
What? They're anime. Oh
Is
my.
it Remnant anime looking characters back then or no?
No,
Oh,
they're like weird goobers. They look like Fortnite characters.
wow. Calling goobers is
They're very gooberish. But anyways, let's see. Yeah, some Dragon Quest monster stuff, Apollo, Ace Attorney collection, Under Night in Baths, Celsius. Yeah, Like a Dragon 8, Feng for Tekken 8, Persona 3 Reloaded, Final Fantasy Rebirth, let's see. Gunvolt,
Hotel Barcelona.
Euden Chronicles. So Hotel Barcelona, I remember there was like talks about this of Suda51 and Swery coming together and being like, let's make a weird game. I think the trailer only shows like key art. I don't know, it shows some gameplay. Oh yeah, it's side scrolling. That's what it was. Yeah, I'm interested in it. I like Suda51. I like Swery. They're weird. They're interesting. Euden Chronicles. I remember this thing had like a game that came out before. It was like Euden Chronicles Rising, something like that. I bought it, but I haven't played it. This one is 100 Heroes. So I remember this was like talked about being the Suikoden successor. If you don't know Suikoden, it's like a Konami game that was JRPG, and like the main appeal is that you could have a bunch of dudes on your party to make a huge party. But yeah, that game looks interesting. If I you know, I'm actually gonna look. Oh, music started playing. Yeah, it's like Suikoden. Let's see what else we got. We got Witches and Lilies. I don't know anything about that. Nothing about that. Let's see. Fate, Samurai Remnant, My Hero Academia Ultra Rumble, Sonic Superstars, Like a Dragon, Gaiden, Yohane the Parhelion, Blaze in the Deep Blue. I have no fucking idea. Dragon Quest Monsters, The Dark Prince, Triggerheart Excelia. Hotel Barcelona. Yes, you were right about that. Kamibako, Mythology of Cube. That's happening. Saga Emerald Beyond.
That's such a weird name.
What, Saga Emerald Beyond?
No, the Mythology Uncubed or some shit.
Oh. Mythology Cube. Hold on. Okay. Yeah, Saga Emerald Beyond, Assault Suit Lenos 2, Sonokuni, Megatron Musashi Wired, damn, Tokyo Psychodemic, Jesus Christ, Sandland, because you like that Kira Toriyama, Sin Duality, Echoes of Ada, and Dragon Dogma 2, which still looks fucking good. Dragon's Dogma. So yeah, that was TGS. Alright. So I just want to get the smaller stuff out of the way. We had this thing from VGC talking about The Last of Us developer Naughty Dog is reportedly cutting contracts short for dozens of workers, and employees are pressured to keep the news quiet. So Naughty Dog is letting people go, which makes sense, because the game industry is not looking too well. Another thing, Epic has let go of 16% of its workforce, so around 900 people. One of the people that I know did not stem well from this is Playtonic. Playtonic is the developer for Fall Guys. So they're not doing too well. The other thing is that I didn't know that Epic bought Bandcamp. Did you know this?
What?
They owned Bandcamp.
What a weird... They bought it?
Yeah,
This was a weird purchase.
Yeah, they bought it and then they resold it.
Oh.
But yeah, the Epic thing is just so weird because essentially the reason why they had to let go of people was because they got too overly ambitious with their purchases, and it kind of led them into a hole that they now have to dig themselves out of.
True.
There's that. And yeah, Tim Sweeney got into a conversation with David Szymanski, excuse me, developer. Well, I think. Well, he works at New Blood, which is an indie company, but still, regardless. What's that game? Dusk? Yes, Dusk. That's what it's called. It's like a Doom boomer shooter kind of thing. It's fun. It's really good. I really liked it. Didn't get too far into it. What else is happening? Ascendant Studios, Immortals of Avium, lays off nearly half of its staff after weeks of release. Because of poor sales. So I remember I asked this on the Discord. Did anyone play this game?
It looks good. I mean, at least I thought it looked good.
Yeah, well, yeah, maybe. But I remember I did check on Steam to see whether or not the PC version works. It's apparently not optimized well, and who knows whether or not it will be optimized later on. Because the studio is now laying off people. So there's that. What else we got? Who else is laying off? Oh yeah, Sega is canceling Hyenas and some unannounced titles under development at its European studios. So I remember this thing was announced, but I think it was like a Jeff Keighley thing. Hyenas?
Kiwi?
Yep, Jeff Keighley was like, check out this Hyenas shit, and then everybody was like, all right, there's no actual gameplay. Okay. And then, yep, canceled. Let's see. Okay, Xbox. An Xbox Series X digital version was shown because of the FTC documents that that they got from Xbox. Guess that got leaked. So basically, images are shown that Xbox was planning on doing a new version of a digital console. So yeah, it would have had 2 terabytes, and then a new controller that they were pitching would have had gyro in it, and these things would have come out around like October 2024. So
they're still doing it, no?
Who knows? Maybe.
It looks like, or from what it sounded like, Xbox is looking to release that. I don't know when, next year.
Yeah. Oh, and the other thing that they showed was a title release schedule, which accidentally shows Fallout 3 Remastered, Ghostwire Tokyo sequel, Dishonored 3, Oblivion Remaster, and Doom Year Zero.
You know how insane it is that Tokyo Wire 2 could be happening?
Tokyo Wire 2, baby.
But you get it, right?
Yeah,
it's completely insane.
The game didn't sell well, so the only saving grace for what was it? Tango? I think it was Tango that developed it. No, I forget. I think it was another studio within Bethesda, but they're a Japanese company because I remember it was like Ikumi Nakamura was supposed to be on it, and then was it still Tango? I don't remember. Anyways, it's so weird because this game obviously did not sell well. It did not get any praise. The game went on sale many a times. Even now, it's free on Amazon Prime. So I'm just surprised to see that it actually gets a sequel. And I haven't played it. I'm about to play it sometime soon, but it's just weird to see. And it's a game that nobody talks about. And a lot of people who did play it say it's relatively meh. And it's like, oh, that's unfortunate. Because the problem is that the amount of promise it had to being a horror shooter never happened. It's still a shooter, but it's like the horror elements are kind of there, but not really. I don't know. The other thing that was accidentally shown was that next generation Xbox early details release in 2028, cloud hybrid games potentially switching to ARM. What does that mean? Who knows? Oh, ARM is a CPU. Never mind. Sorry.
Oh.
So cloud games coming soon. Maybe in 2028. Yep, that was a big leak. The biggest leak.
Wait, cloud games from who?
Cloud games running on like a system, because running on ARM is a CPU that Xbox uses. So it's most likely they're looking at like a cloud device, possibly.
So streaming.
Yeah, kind of.
I mean, if you're going to be streaming games, the quality is going to be bad.
Yeah, I could be getting that wrong, but we'll, I guess, if Xbox decides to, if Xbox decides to put out any more details. Sad news. Jim Ryan is retiring in 2024. I can't even say it with a straight face. Yeah, Jim Ryan is retiring. But yeah, Jim Ryan is leaving, not because people are upset with him. It's because it's because he's just tired of traveling all over the world. He's tired of that. He wants to be at home. So, but with that said, Hiroki Totoki will assume role of chairman in this month, actually. And then it will be effective around April 1st, 2024. So, yep.
Hopefully it's good.
Hopefully we're okay. I don't really know anything about Hiroki Totoki. Yeah, I don't think I know anything about this guy. I have to do more research and see whether or not this is a relatively good transition, but we'll see. Because the only thing that comes to mind that's Square Enix. Square Enix is the the new chairman or the new president is like a big NFT guy. That's why he's like leading into that direction. I'm only seeing like a little bit of stuff. All right, you know what? We'll see. I'll have to do my research. So yeah, goodbye, Jim Ryan. We'll see you never. Please don't.
Jim Ryan.
Please don't take my PS3 games away from me, like physically. Do not come to my house and take away my PS3 games, and say I have to pay a streaming service to play PS3 games.
Do it to him.
No, Jim Ryan, no. Speaking of sad news, Hideki Kamiya is leaving Platinum Games on October 12th. Who is Hideki Kamiya, you're asking? Hideki Kamiya is the father of Devil May Cry and director of Bayonetta.
Don't sound so sad to me.
All right. Well, Hideki Kamiya is known for like
right.
Hideki Kamiya is known for his action games, and obviously Platinum has become the action game studios. But Platinum hasn't been in a good spot for a while because they did do a lot of like licensed stuff, but they're only a development studio. They're not really a huge company, and I think they're kind of on the verge of being bought by somebody because they're kind of desperate. But yeah, Hideki Kamiya is leaving, so who knows what he'll do. Funny enough, within the same day, he shows a picture of him in a stall, showing us a picture of his underwear that looks obliterated because it has a giant ass rip in it. Yeah, so that happened same day. But yeah, fucking Platinum has had a bunch of issues. I think the biggest one that comes to mind when it comes to like deals is the one with Xbox, because that was a thing that really soured their relationship with Xbox in general. Do you know about this? Nah? Is that what you said?
I said no.
Oh, okay. So Xbox, when Xbox One was coming out, they wanted console exclusive shit. So they looked at Platinum Games because this was during the time where Xbox was trying to appeal to more Japanese developers. So they decided, we're going to work with Platinum. The game that they decided that they wanted to do was a game called Scalebound. Scalebound, if you've seen the trailers, it essentially looked like Devil May Cry, but you had a dragon. The game got canceled. I think within like a couple months, and there's just been like rumors and talks essentially about how it was something that Xbox just decided on a whim just to cancel the game, and that has left Platinum in kind of a position being like, what the fuck, bro? Because they showed gameplay of it, like it was ready in a sense. But yeah. Xbox. Yeah. And that's also the other thing. I think Platinum doesn't really own a lot of their IPs. Like Bayonetta is one that they own, but I think I don't know. I think there might be a legal thing with
Platinum.
No, with Nintendo.
Isn't Platinum part of that or no?
Of Nintendo?
No, of Bayonetta, right?
Yes, I'm saying that they own the IP. I believe they own the IP for Bayonetta, but I think for distribution, I think it belongs to Nintendo.
Right.
Yeah, they've done a bunch of licensed shit. You know, fucking the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle game that nobody remembers. The Transformer game. The Transformer game that's fucking dope as shit. It's such a good Transformers fucking action game.
The one from like years ago?
Yeah, Devastation. They also did a Legend of Korra game. Yeah, it's something else. But yeah, they were doing a lot of licensed shit. And like now, they're in a very weird position. So we'll see. We'll see how Platinum spans out, you know. Hopefully they don't fucking die. But here's hoping. And speaking of Hideki Kamiya, Devil May Cry, the Netflix series, has been announced.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So they showed a little bit of some shit that's of some animation. And yeah, Dante looks like Dante, but like all the Dantes. He has like a huge combination of different Dante-isms. Yeah, I'm excited. I want to see how it is. The only thing that makes me a little bit like wary is apparently the Castlevania new season, Nocturne, is like its writing is kind of not great. But I haven't seen the show, so I'll probably check it out eventually.
Yeah.
But yeah, Devil May Cry. I mean, this was in the talks for like a while, especially with Adi Shankar, like talking about like that's the main thing that he really, really wants to do. So we'll see. Hopefully it's good. Hopefully I can watch this in peace. Hopefully.
Hell yeah, dude. I think it's gonna be good.
All right. Speaking of good for nobody, all right. This is the thing that happened within the fucking 3 weeks that's just been so goddamn crazy. Unity. What do you know about Unity?
Unity is a game engine that you can use to build a video game. And I know a lot of indie companies were using it.
Yes. Okay. So you know the gist of Unity. So let's talk about this. Let's talk about what happened with Unity. What is going on? A whole fucking raising the flag and then standing with the flag and then realizing maybe this flag is not so great and taking down the flag and then apologizing about the flag and then saying that please don't leave me happened within like a span of like a couple days. This shit is wild. So okay, so Unity basically announced that they were doing a whole new like system for not distribution but like for gaming companies, talking about that if a gaming company wants to use Unity, they have to pay a certain amount. So they were basically increasing the amount that was being paid for. On top of that, they were taking royalties for every time a game was downloaded.
There was a threshold, wasn't there?
Yes, I forget what it was.
I have it up in front of me.
Yeah, you can move that up. But this is the weird thing. So there was a lot of things that they didn't clarify on, and that's why I left a lot of people in like positions of just like, so what the fuck is gonna happen? It was accounts of installs of both the system, both of using the Unity engine and the installs of games. The games thing is wild, because they were trying to make some clarification of saying that, like, if somebody were to re-download the game, it would cost money.
And specifically, it's 20 cents per install for any game with more than 200,000 installs.
Yes.
And then they were more specifically saying, the question was, what happens when somebody does multiple installs?
Mm-hmm.
So there was that.
Okay, so it is just a culmination of different things that did not pan out well. So the other thing that a lot of people haven't mentioned is that apparently a lot of higher ups over at Unity decided to sell some of their shares. And the feeling
didn't pay attention to that.
Yeah, that apparently happened, where a bunch of higher ups were selling their shares, realizing that probably this wasn't a good idea, and they literally were selling it like days before that they announced this whole thing. So, with that said, Unity tried to stand by their decision, in which a lot of indie devs decided, yeah, fuck yourself. I'd rather learn a new engine than pay you fucking assholes. Which, obviously, to that effect, Unity had to come out with an apology, being like, we're sorry, we will probably never, ever try to do that. For the meantime. Only in due time. But that has already ruined any kind of relationship with Unity and people, because, like I said, a lot of indie devs were not happy about that shit, and they were willing to fucking just throw their work out the window. The one that comes to mind is Massive Monsters, the developers for Cult of the Lamb, that were like, hey, Unity sucks. I hope you guys enjoy Cult of the Lamb or decide to get Cult of the Lamb, because we're deleting this on January 1st of next year. Yeah, a lot of people were being like, yep, let's look at other options.
Yeah, there were a good amount of companies that were following them in that, saying like, we're just gonna not do that anymore. Like, have your purchase by this time or whatever.
Because that's also the other thing, is that like a lot of these indie developers are like, it doesn't make any sense. Why would they decide to charge that amount of like 2,000 installs? And it's like, then we have to set our prices a specific way that either benefit us but still fucks us over because we have to pay these fucking fees, or we just don't know the success of how this game is going to do, and we don't know whether or not it will reach the threshold or it won't. So it's like this weird cage, like they're essentially trapped in this whole situation of like the popularity of the game, or with increasing the price, or just like not being successful and then fucking fading out like most indie companies. I don't know, man. This shit was bad.
It was really weird. Just like, I don't know. It didn't feel oh my god, what's the word? Well
thought out,
communicated.
Yeah, because they were also going to do a town hall, but I think you said a thing of like the town hall had to close because somebody threatened, which not cool, but yeah.
The CEO during town hall this morning canceled. Yeah, so they closed their office too, because of death threats.
Yeah, so that's not great. The other thing is, what is it? It's there's no other thing. They just backed down and they were like, yeah, we're just leaving everything as is and possibly doing more to make people happy. But like I said, they already fucking soured the relationship with the people that buy their product, and I wouldn't be surprised if people just drop Unity in general. So
yeah, the only other thing that they had done was they talked about they I don't know, what is the guy's name? I don't see it off the top of my head. So the lead Unity creator spoke about no games with less than 1 million in trailing 12 months revenue will be subject to the fee.
Yeah.
And then the runtime fee policy will only begin in 2024 and beyond. So,
Okay.
I mean, it clears up a little bit of it. I mean, there's a little bit more in there, but
yeah, they were also doing some scummy shit as well. Of like, they were essentially planning on taking on games that released like the year previously, that like made that threshold, and it's just like it was just weird scummy shit. Yeah, it was not great. But it makes sense because of John Riccitello. If you don't know who he is a CEO of Unity. And according to one Suda51, a complete fucking asshole. So I think John Riccitello used to be at EA, and this was during the time of when Grasshopper Manufacturer was trying to do like different other companies and stuff like that to work with. So they came out with a game called Shadows of the Damned. I don't know if you remember this. Probably not. Shadows of the Damned was pitched as Suda51 written with can you hear me? No?
Yeah, my mic wasn't lighting up. I thought you couldn't hear me. That's why I was like, huh?
Oh, okay. Shadows of the Damned. Do you know anything about Shadows of the Damned?
No,
Okay.
I don't. Again, I said no, and I didn't think you could hear me, so I was like,
okay. So yeah, the game was pitched as Suda51 written with Shinji Mikami at the helm of like directing the. It was a joint thing of like Shinji Mikami and Suda51. So I believe Shadows of the Damned came out, I guess kind of like a cult classic. Well, cult. It was a cult following, but it wasn't particularly received well. I played it. I kind of liked it. It was enjoyable, but there was something about it that felt a little off. And I think with recent interviews with, well, not recent, but like after the game came out, interviews with Suda51 basically said that he didn't get to do everything that he wanted to do because of higher ups. You know, specifically higher ups over at EA. And that person who was higher up was John Riccitello. And John Riccitello basically stopped them from doing what they wanted to do. Because I think Suda51 had a completely different plan of like what he wanted to do with the story and like what he wanted to do with the gameplay. Same thing with Shinji Mikami. And then John Riccitello kind of like put his finger into it and started like swishing it around, being like, I don't know about that. Funny enough, because of that whole experience, Suda51 has basically created a villain character, I think by the name of Tom Riccitello or something like that. Because he just does not like this man. So it makes sense. Yeah. Any executive decisions that are shitty, remember John Riccitello for Unity. So remember that.
Just remember.
Just remember. So yeah, that was it for video games this week. Yeah, as much stuff as I'm able to get, because, you know, there's too much things happening. There are too many things happening. Just one.
I think it's the important things that whenever.
Yeah, this was like the biggest one of the Unity thing of like the crazy like rise and back down of events. But the other thing I guess of note is that also writers for the WGA have gotten their deal. So right now we're just waiting for actors to get their deal. But we'll see in due time. And yeah, that is it. That is it for podcast. We have done it. We have talked about news. Now in the next 8 weeks we'll talk about news, maybe.
8 weeks.
We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, that's it. We do it.
Very good.
Very good. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.